Hi, chat. Hope everyone's having a good day, good night, good evening. And thank you, Firm and Strong VTuber, for the membership. It is much appreciated.
Oh my gosh, you're like behind objects on my screen.
We'll give Kendra a minute to sort it out.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It had to be done. Let me like move all this stuff. I need to like put it in an actual folder one of these days.
But chat, I hope you're excited.
Everyone.
We're talking about the SCP Foundation today.
Yes, hello everyone. It is I, your lonely neighborhood reindeer, a Kendrillian.
What?
Well, I'm learning about we're learning about the SCP. I have only ever played that one collab game, and because I'm a chicken when it comes to horror until I was educated otherwise by good friends of mine in Mizu, that it's more psychological. And now I'm going to get thrown into the bottom pits of hell because nobody knows how to write in this space, and the only thing worse than horror is bad writing.
Yeah, so I brought Kendra along because Kendra likes the writing part. I like the horror part, and I think it's kind of fake and gay these days. But I just wanted to lay some groundwork before we get into exploring it of how I came about messing with the SCP Foundation again this year, because it's not the first year I have fucked with them. I do it about every year around Pride Month, because they always act like retards around Pride Month.
Oh my gosh.
This year it was this post. In case you forgot that it's Pride Month, here's your reminder that like most of this account and a very good chunk of the SCP Wiki exists because of weird trans women. Thank you, weird trans women.
Here's the thing, there's being weird, and then there's being... there's being self-aware, but the problem is when they make posts like this, they're not making it because they're self-aware. They're making it because they want to own people. And that's what I find cringe.
You know what's the funniest part of it, though?
What?
It's just false. The two most influential writers on SCP is a straight guy who's just mega cringe, and another straight guy who happens to be a pedophile. So... They're the two most influential writers on the site. It's like, if you want to claim them as trans women, go for it. I'll let you have them. You can take them away from the straight guys. You can have them. Wait, what? No. Don't worry, chat. Some of you probably have not heard the story. We'll get into the story, because Kendra's going to have to get into the story.
Oh.
It's very important.
You know what? Maybe this is more hell than I thought it was.
But I decided to kind of mess with them. So I posted SCP Wiki still trying to recover from the trans asteroid that writes Homestuck fanfiction controversy that caused the actual good writers to leave the site. And then I posted a follow-up because they immediately blocked me after I retweeted them. And this goes into why I wanted to do this stream, because I upset the SCP guys. So we have Dr. Theron, who also tweets me and then immediately blocks me. Says SCP is doing just fine, you sad loser. B, during the 2016 Pride Month controversy, only 1 to 3 authors left the site. The exodus was a bunch of whiny bigots who hadn't written an SCP in their life. People like you who are unmissed to this day. Keep SCP out of your mouth.
All right, Will Smith. Brother thought he was big and bad when he wrote that one.
And then, just in case you were confused, he does in fact defend the trans asteroid SCP, which we will discuss in a moment. For those who want to dive into why the trans asteroid that writes Homestuck fanfiction rocks, actually, check out this video. We're not watching that video, we're just going to read the thing, and then Kendra can make up her own mind about the trans asteroid and if she thinks it's good horror. And just so we're clear, if anybody wants to think that this guy taking a shot at me is just some random, this is his YouTube. With 1.9 million subscribers, or 1.09 million subscribers. I think I'm going
Chat, we're not gonna have a good time.
You're gonna have a lovely time.
We're not gonna have a good time.
Like, I just want to show this, so just so we're clear, chat, this is not some random dick on Twitter out of nowhere. This is actually like a major account that got that butthurt about this.
This is going to be so much fun. No, it's not, Hero, and you know this. My thing about this, again, here's the thing. If you are self-aware and know you're cringe, I respect that more than anything in the world. But these people don't think they're cringe, and they have very little self-respect.
Really quick, because I did get a couple supers pop in. Thank you, Noir. I used to love SCP Foundation, but then everything became, can it kill the unkillable lizard or just stupid? So I might have to bring up the unkillable lizard, because there's nothing inherently wrong with the unkillable lizard. But the chatter is right. When they made the unkillable lizard, a bunch of writers for the site took that as a challenge to be like, my monster is so strong, he can kill the unkillable lizard. And it's like, shut the
Why are we power scaling the Eldritch Horrors?
Yeah. He was like the unkillable lizard, or the actual name is the hard to destroy reptile. His whole thing was just supposed to be that, like, the Foundation themselves, the humans, could not kill them. It was not supposed to be like a power scaling thing. It was supposed to be that this ridiculously powerful Foundation that contains all these eldritch horrors cannot figure out how to kill this fucking thing, and they know if they don't, it's going to eventually break out and, like, slaughter the human race. It wasn't supposed to be a challenge of, now we need to power scale all our monsters to unkillable lizard. Like,
this sounds like that thing you told me about how they started ripping off Lovecraft.
We'll get into ripping off Lovecraft. Thank you, Jerome Morgan. I've been waiting for this since I found you on Twitter. SCP used to be fun with the first 1,000, but now it sucks. I agree. And then Internet Zen also says, weird trans women. So they include the mad bastard pest who wrote all the stuff behind Dr. Bright. Also, SCP-999, aka the Tickle Monster, is the only redeeming thing left on the site.
The Tickle Monster?
And then Internet Zen Master follows it up with trans asteroid in the word of Jontron. What? What the fuck?
What's the Tickle Monster?
The Tickle Monster was a cute one. It's basically... Actually, is it the Tickle Monster? I have to double check. Because I know I could be thinking of the little friendly Jello guy.
Ah. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's this guy.
Oh, it's cute!
So basically, just being around him makes you super, super happy and friendly. Basically, he's adorable and everybody loves him. It is implied, though, that he is the child of, like, a world-ending SCP, and that there's a possibility that one day he could grow up and end the world. But canonically, nobody knows that. Like, in universe, nobody knows that. We know that from, like, you know, Hand of God or whatever. People in universe don't.
Okay.
So he's just an adorable little guy that kind of goes around giving people hugs.
Aww.
But chat, it was not just Site 42 that got upset with me. A guy called DJ Cactus also got upset with me. And instead of having any actual argument, just went with the lead poisoning is such an insidious affliction. It's so sad to see another victim of this terrible condition.
My thing is that this guy at least got creative with it.
Yeah. I bring him up because he is one of the #1 writers on the site. He even has a page called The Based God. He has written a lot in the site. You can kind of tell that he got, like, way too big for his britches. When I posted on Twitter that this is, like, what his page looked like, people were like, "Oh, he's so proud of himself. That's such a bad thing to do." And, like, it's not bad to be proud of yourself. It's the fact that you are, like, so up your own ass now that you can't tell that your shit stinks.
Yeah. My thing about it is, like, I can understand if this was a page about, like, awards like real awards, like real writing contest awards.
Yeah.
All of this is for SCP, I'm assuming.
It is.
Just SCP. That's cringe.
17 SCPs or tales rated over 1,000. Winner of the SCP-3000 contest. Winner of the Mobile Task Force contest. SCP-4000 runner-up. SCP-6000 contest runner-up. SCP-8000 contest third place. Like, it's just... I like this one. SCP-9000 contest 19th place. At what point are you just, like, throwing shit on the wall to throw shit on the wall?
Like, dude, calm down. It's not that serious. Like, if you won, like, real... I'm not saying you have to win real awards. Like, you can be proud of, like, your own awards, because, like, not everybody gets 19th place. But again, like, you're gonna add some, like some actual real awards there? You're gonna make your own series? If it's just gonna be the internet stories and only the internet stories, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like a good example is that one guy, the one guy we learned about, you know, Michael Scott Earl,
Yeah.
our Lord and Savior. His stories, are they the best? Maybe not. But the thing is that he's still a best-selling author. Like, he took that out to go actually make money and merch and stuff. Like, this is just sad.
So really quick, I'm gonna open it up on my other window to see if I can find it, because we can't talk about like major contributors to the site without talking about Dr. Bright. So you can't actually find Dr. Bright on SCP anymore. You have to find Dr. Bright on external websites. That's because Dr. Bright is the one that got exposed as a predator.
Okay.
He is the one that had a lot of stuff, like a lot of concepts within the universe surrounding him and his works. So just notice the SCP Wiki staff have permanently banned the author of this character, the Duckman, aka Admin Bright, and removed the bulk of their work from the SCP Wiki due to predatory and abusive behaviors towards others, including minors. The Duckmen use their authored works to bolster their image as a figure of authority, trust, and importance, enabling them to leverage the Wiki as a tool for severe misconduct, including sexual harassment and alleged long-term sexual abuse. Duckman's work contained harmful themes in the context of aforementioned behaviors, including, but not limited to, the sexualization of minors and justification of predatory behavior. The Duckmen also reportedly engaged in fetish mining, asking others for fetish content without them knowing, but the content is for a fetish or sexual purpose related to the content of their work. I have since I started talking about this, I actually got messaged by a couple people about Dr. Bright.
Hi, Ramon.
So, what I have learned, allegedly, is that it was not just Dr. Bright. Apparently, multiple high-level staffers are sex pests, and everybody just caught Bright.
Oh.
I've been told some stories since I started making my post. I can't just expose them at the moment. I'm still trying to collect like more concrete information. However, I wouldn't doubt it, because the information we do know publicly is that people knew about Bright for years. Like, it wasn't a secret that he was doing this, but every time it was brought up with staff, they refused to address it. They didn't actually address it until one of the people he did it to turned out to be a minor, and then suddenly it was a massive problem. All the other times he had been doing it to people, they didn't give a shit.
So what I'm hearing is we have a pedophile problem with the SCP in the staff wiki.
Yep.
And we're going to have an expose YouTube style one day.
The thing is, chat, we don't know who all knew that had power. But the thing is, a lot of people on staff 100% knew. And it's one of the reasons that I am kind of the opinion that you can't really fix SCP, because I think all of the staff has to go. Because I genuinely can't trust any of them.
That also kind of explains, unfortunately, why this kind of happened the way it did, because someone's trying. So I'm not someone who's against anyone being trans or whatever, but the problem is that there's like good people. The problem is you got people who claim to be allies, which is why I will never claim to be an ally, who use their allyship to kind of compensate for something a lot of the time for some reason, and they get really weird about it. And every single time I see the SCP, at least regarding this, it's like the way you keep fighting with people. And I say this because I've been in communities that have used being like an ally to do that. So I'm not just saying it out of nowhere. They get weird about it and they try to be like, well, I'm a supporter of this. And then behind the scenes, you end up finding out they're actually the most racist, homophobic person you will ever see in your entire lifetime. And I'm just like, wow. And I thought I was bad. Like, I said something I thought was accidentally harmful. You're just doing it.
Yeah. So that's my kind of
red hair.
Oh yeah, you go.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. What is it? Thank you, Red Hair Cross, for the 5. Hello, dear, and fish too, I guess.
So I just wanted to kind of get this out of the way as a preamble. Is that you might hear me being kind of really hard on like SCP as a concept. A lot of this is why I'm very hard on them. A lot of the staff is very narcissistic. They're very kind of up their own ass about things. They really cannot handle criticism at all. And I personally believe a lot of them knew they had a predator on staff for years and just chose not to comment on it. Yeah. So I go kind of hard on them. I have a reason for it. I'm not just like a mindless hater because, ooh, trans people. You know, I have reasons, you know.
I'm like, oh, why would they like remove all his stuff? That seems kind of harsh. And it's like, oh, he leveraged his power. It's like, okay, weird that we're leveraging Wiki power, but like, I mean, a reasonable. Oh, most of them are predators. I can see why now they actually wiped his entire discography.
Well, you have to think that SCP at its height was huge. It was like creepypasta levels big. Like creepypasta as a concept. It was kind of that level big at its height. So people would have to go through some of the site admins to try and get their work approved. And I haven't seen proof of it yet. I've heard the allegations that particularly Bright would say stuff like, maybe if you sent some photos to me, I could push you through a little quicker kind of thing.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, though, I never made, like, wikis and stuff like that, so I wouldn't know, like, I guess, like, the fandom with, like, wanting to, like, have a wiki up so badly outside of, like, I don't know, categorizing, like, famous people. So when I hear, like, wiki drama and wiki stuff, I'm just like, it's not that serious, guys.
Exactly. And then, because it already came up in a super from Lord Bruticus, are you guys also going to cover the Vulcan? I remember when he crashed out over the RCP Authority. So a couple years ago, when kind of the Pride Month thing really blew up in SCP's face, and it started like really pissing people off because of some of the SCPs they were approving, people decided to leave the site, and they made a new site called the RCP Authority, which is round about the same concept, pretty much.
Okay.
A couple of the creators of SCP have pretty publicly denounced RCP as just being a bunch of bigots because of the separation over the Pride Month shit that happened. And they just,
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so they just kind of mindlessly call them bigots and try and get them, like, shut down. I know there is, in this tweet, so it's in here somewhere, somebody mentions RCP, yeah. RCP still around, and he replies, exist, yes, actually has people writing for it, not really. Turns out bigots who don't write aren't much for writing. Who knew?
This guy's gonna get exposed for something. I'm sorry. people who get exposed for people who get like exposed later on usually talk like this. I'm sorry.
Yeah. People in chat mentioned Vulcan. Vulcan was a big, like, he would basically just read articles on the website. He was a big creator for that. He drew the logo for RCP Authority because they liked his work, so they asked him to draw the logo. And like a couple months later, he makes a YouTube video about, I didn't know the RCP Authority was just a site full of disgusting bigots, and I would recommend nobody go over there. I feel so tragic and hurt that I made a logo for them. I never would have done it if I knew how evil they were. And it's like, shut
Brother,
up.
this is a Wikipedia. Oh my gosh. It's freaking Wikipedia. I've seen more series out there that deserve a Wikipedia better than this. Calm down. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's one of those things like they're very upset at the fact that there is a competing wiki in existence they're not stealing anything, they're making their own stuff.
Also, it doesn't help that it's like anytime, like, because like I remember when I saw that, like I remember like you was bringing it RCP, and I'm like remembering now, and I'm just thinking to myself, if they made their own site, they don't care about you. You are molding about them. They're not molding about you.
Sorry, chat. RPC.
Oh my god!
I could probably
they don't care about you.
Yeah, RPC Authority has their own website, and you can kind of tell it's similar in layout to SCP Foundation stuff. And
it's like there's not a lot of people writing there. Good. Yeah.
I will say
have to have a lot of people.
I will say one thing I really like about it, and you'll notice this as we go through the SCP website, is they have one consistent layout. There is no like a bajillion different fucking layouts for the site. Everything starts the same. Every page looks the same. Like there's not all this other garbage.
I like it. It looks professional. It looks nice. Like the only reason why you would have your own dedicated page is if you just have your own design, is if you have your own dedicated page as a creator because you just want it to look nice and be different a little bit between other creators. But if you're like all collaborating on something, it's like you gotta kind of like just be consistent. It's just easier on the eyes and stuff. It looks nice.
Is this just kind of the same one each time? maybe there's like a daily one.
And it's just kind of like, oh, what is it? It's kind of like, oh, well, not a lot of people are writing on here. Good. You don't need a lot of people writing on here. You just need a couple of dedicated people. They like this one specific thing, and y'all all get to share with one another. If you get to, not everybody needs to like have 50 other people joining in every hour of the day. It's just fine doing that. Be fine with that. It's okay.
I also, I had to mention this to a couple people because a couple people were like, well, the RCP Authority doesn't have like as many people on it right now. So clearly it's a dead website. And it's like, you have to understand that SCP has been alive for like over 10 years now. Like they've had a long time of building up basically a brand. You can literally slap SCP on something and make it sell now because it is a brand now. It is a recognizable brand. RPC, it doesn't matter how RPC came along. It's still going to take like time to, get up to that level.
Yeah.
The fact it's done as well as it has is somewhat impressive.
Sup, Arden? Danny K Music. Oh boy, what BS is this SCP group involved with this time? Well, for some reason, they're molding about RPC. And again, it's like,
they mold about RPC all the time. That's not specific.
Like, you don't even really hear about drama with RCP, and considering the fact that we now found out that there's way too many predators, good.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people on there. I would rather take not a lot of people writing on my website than the head mods being predators.
Exactly. That happened with Bulbapedia, too. That's why for a while people were calling it Bulbapedo.
Are you serious?
Did you not know that happened with Bulbapedia?
I haven't browsed Bulbapedia since I was like a kid, and except for like the occasional times I go on the website to download a PNG.
Yeah, some of the staffers for Bulbapedia got exposed for
why am I
trying to get pictures from kids?
Why am I not surprised? You know, people always complain about liking the child characters in Pokemon. At least fans have an excuse because they grew up with these predators. Not predators. They grew up with these characters. No wonder. The predators decided to invade Pokemon. Easy pickings.
Yep. Thank you, Internet Zen. So the entire OG 05 Council of authors were all deviants. Imagine my shock. Also, the fact of the matter is Duckman's SCP writing was foundational to SCP lores, kind of doomed it once he was exposed. Yeah, no, Dr. Bright was huge. It's
for those...
It's hard to explain how big Dr. Bright was without, like, actually sitting down and making you read, like, 1,000 articles worth of information.
Also, for those that don't know, Bulbapedia is the Pokemon Wikipedia.
Yeah. He wasn't, like, the most important thing, but imagine if, like, you're reading the Harry Potter books and we just said, let's just take out, like, Snape, Dumbledore, and Hermione, and don't change anything else. Just pluck them all out and keep the books going like normal. Like, he wasn't the character. He wasn't the, like, Harry Potter, but he was... The story just doesn't work without him. Or kind of like, for people that think Harry Potter is cringe, just imagine taking Aragorn out of Lord of the Rings. I'm like, well, it's a story about Frodo. It works fine without Aragorn. You know? It's like, no, it doesn't work. He's foundational to the series.
And be like, remove the character that's important because I don't like important character. It's like, that's not how it works, bro.
Yeah. Also, Internet Zen mentions the 05 Council, so we probably won't get into, like, deep SCP lore today. But the 05 Council in lore are basically, like, 5 people that are supposed to be completely unknown that run the Foundation, basically. If any shit goes down, it goes through the 05 Council. They're basically, like, their leading governmental body.
Okay. Was it Arden says, it's funny watching this because I used to do SCP cosplay on TikTok. Hitler was back then for it, though it was TikTok, of course.
Thank you, Evan, or Lord Bruticus. Says, Evan Royalty has made some SCP military short films. He made some mistakes regarding tactics, but I personally like them. No, his films are good. They're really solid. And then Internet Zen Master says RPC Authority only has 1,000 entries plus jokes / non-canon entries, but from what I saw, they're a quality over quantity site, unlike SCP these days. So we're going to go through, some of you probably don't need this, but I want to go through this for Kendra. But we're going to go through the guide for newcomers. Yeah, they're 1305, sorry, I forgot about the, I think they bring up all of them during Ouroboros cycle. We're not going over Ouroboros cycle, though. Ouroboros cycle would be all night. I think somebody did suggest I cover Ouroboros cycle. That would literally be an all-night project. We're not doing that.
Is it good or bad?
I think Ouroboros is fine.
Okay.
About halfway through, though, the main character does get very OC do not steal kind of thing.
Of course.
The best part of Ouroboros cycle is kind of the lore within it. It's not how do you say it? It's the lore is good, the story sucks.
No, yeah, I can name like 50 other series that do the same thing.
I'm glad you understand. Like, I thought it would make no sense when I said it.
Listen, that's just Danganronpa in a nutshell. It was a Danny K music. Thank you for the VOD. Gotta catch the VOD because this is interesting, but I'm way too tired at the moment. Have a good rest of the night, dear and Puddle. Thank you, Danny. See you, VOD gang.
Yeah. But I want to go through this. So this is a guide for newcomers, and it's kind of just explaining the wiki itself. So what is it about? It's the SCP Foundation Wiki. It's a collaborative writing site. So I want you to keep in mind that they claim it's a collaborative writing site. I'm of the opinion that this has not been true since like the first 2000, maybe even before that.
It makes it more inclusive.
Based around the premise that, in essence, magic is real. It's not exactly... I wouldn't call it magic. Why would you call it magic? It's not exactly like the traditional fantasy-style magic you've come to know, but that's the best way we can describe the stuff we have here. Anomalies, items, and critters that do not follow the rules of nature as we know them, staircases that go on forever, mechanical gods from the beginning of time, otherwise regular humans who reshape reality with their mind. These are the kind of things that, known to the public, could cause mass hysteria and start wars on scales unprecedented. Due to that, there exists an organization called the SCP Foundation, whose job is to research paranormal activity, keep these creatures and objects concealed from the public, and protect humanity from the horrors of the dark. I would also say it's not going to be covered here, but since then there are multiple different groups like the SCP Foundation in universe, as well as ones that are like multiversal versions of the SCP Foundation. There's like it's gone well past like just SCP Foundation. So Control, yes, I pretty sure Control was specifically based off SCP. Almost 100%. Thank you, Internet Zen. The things Dr. Bright is not allowed to do at the Foundation list was basically a rite of passage for SCP fans. Removing Dr. Bright was Hiroshima and Nagasaki to SCP. Unlike Japan, SCP never recovered. Yeah, so there's a huge article just called "The Things Dr. Bright is Not Allowed to Do." Basically, Dr. Bright wore an amulet that allowed him to be immortal, but it wasn't like free immortality. When he died, whoever was wearing the amulet is where his spirit would be transferred into.
Oh.
So whenever he entered a new vessel, he would immediately choose his successor, and that successor had to wear the amulet. And then if he died, he would immediately go to the new successor. And he used that to do a lot of really stupid shit. Because he was portrayed as like a wacky scientist doing everything for the love of the game.
Okay.
But it was a big thing to read the things Dr. Bright is not allowed to do.
Okay.
That's the long and short of it. This site is a place where a bunch of different people write stories about organization that keeps the inexplicable under lock and key. Except instead of just calling it magic, we use sciencey terms like autokinesis or thaumatology. The wiki started as a horror creepypasta site, so the majority of older content is focused around that. But since then, we've expanded our horizons, and nowadays you can find any type of writing you want, from novella-length adventures to one-line jokes. And this is where we get to the important part. It says, remember, that started it saying it was a collaborative writing site. Very next one, why is everything contradictory? To reach over 10,000 articles on site, we had to let go of the idea of a singular canon, meaning that every article on the site is allowed to contradict and disregard any other article, no matter how well-known or popular. Can you call it a collaborative writing project when you basically say there is no canon, everything is separate from one another, do whatever the fuck you want?
My thing is, like, I kind of figured that was the case already, since it's like you want to like write your own thing, and like because like even like researchers in like the real world, they'll have their own theories and they'll have their own like research in how they implement them. But the thing is that they still have like a system to like streamline it through. Yeah. So it's kind of just like, well, if it's not really a collaborative, it's like it's contradictory. It's a collaborative writing effort, except it's not. So it just comes off. It just comes off like they just want to be fanfic.net, or they just want to be what's that? What other fanfic site? I forgot. But basically, they just want to be fanfic.net without the constraints of fanfic.net. But there's a singular theme for fanfic.net.
I think you're thinking of Archive of Our Own.
Not Archive, the other popular one.
Oh, I don't know.
AO3, yes, AO3.
Isn't that Archive of Our Own?
Oh, is that what AO3 sounds like?
I thought that's what it meant.
I have no idea. I only know it as AO3.
Fair. Yeah, Winter Dragon. It's a collaborative project where collaboration is disincentivized. And at that point, it's like, why SCP then? Just to have like the structure of what an SCP is? why not just go back and write on creepypasta.net? Like, why even SCP at that point?
I think it's like they want to do like, because like, you know how like sometimes you stumble on a fandom and you find the fandom first before you find any other like website out there. So it's like I want to stay on SCP because that's my quote unquote community home.
Yeah.
But the problem is that at that point, just discover more websites and go to AO3. It's not like you're restricted with AO3.
Yeah. But it's because of that I kind of lost a lot of interest in it when I found out about that. There's still like some articles I like, but it's like I don't like that it's just people writing whatever they feel like at that point. It's not really collaborative effort anymore. Did someone say the Foundation was formed in the 1960s, but you need the Foundation to exist in World War I? The Foundation is now from the 19th century. Sure. You want a Foundation that has more resources than the eye can see? Go wild. You want a Foundation that's penniless? Why not? As long as the story is interesting, your freedom is basically unlimited.
But you don't have to do that. Just make it so that the researcher was like, I found evidence from World War I, and we brought it to modern day. Yeah. And here are the archives from World War I. That's all you have to do. It's not really that hard.
And then here's where it becomes an even bigger problem. While this is often phrased as, quote, there is no canon, unquote, this doesn't mean that nothing on the site can coexist. Many articles share the same universe, and some explicitly reference each other. It just means that you don't have to try and fit everything into a singular version of the Foundation. So now they have said that there are multiple different canons in, like, on the site, and some of them are connected and some of them are not. And it's kind of just like, good fucking luck, figure it out. And then they wonder why people start to lose interest after a while.
It just kind of feels like it's like, again, you have something that's cool, and then you kind of got lost in your own sauce, and instead of actually like being like, hey, let's streamline it a little bit so that people that come in, it's like, here's the basic structure. You don't have to follow it to a T, but like, you know, like there's government branches even within like the government, even though the government is an entity. Just make the SCP, and then there's group 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then that's all you have to do. It's not that hard.
Exactly. Really quick.
Brother, what?
Had to pull this one up because I did not have it. So, another important thing, so you have the context as we're going over this, the basic terminology. So anomaly, anomalous is just anything that doesn't follow the rules of reality, like to any degree, by the way. If it's a regular human man in every single way, but like his heart is on the wrong side of his body, and they believe he's from like a different universe where the heart, like everything's reversed, he's anomalous, even though other than that, he's like just a regular human dude.
Okay.
You have object classes. Each anomaly contained by the Foundation has an assigned object class, which tells you how difficult something is to contain. The most common classes are Safe, which means easy containment, Euclid, which means complex containment, and Keter, meaning containment is very difficult to maintain. Keter typically means that they will break out at random whenever the story determines they should, but they're basically under lock and key by their own choice to some degree.
Okay.
Then you have MTF, or Mobile Task Forces, which are elite units for responding and containing anomalies. Depending on the anomaly, these range from paramilitary teams to specialized researchers. And I did pull up the list of Mobile Task Forces, just because they gave them all names.
Okay.
I'm not going to go through all of them, but you have ones like Village Idiots, which is Epsilon 6, Forget-Me-Nots, Spheres Within Spheres. See, people really hate this one, by the way. So there's now 2 Lambda 12s. Lambda 12 used to be called Pest Control, but they rewrote Lambda 12, and now they're called Kink Shamers.
Why?
Because they simultaneously admit that there's a bunch of blatantly fetish material on the site, while repeatedly denying that that's the intention.
Of course.
And basically, just like anybody can make an SCP, about anybody can make a mobile task force. So there's this giant list here. One of the only ones that are particularly important, like lore-wise, tends to be Samsara, Tau 5, which comes up a lot for some reason. And the one I mentioned up here as well, the Village Idiots. Village Idiots comes up a lot as well. There's another one as well that's Mole Rats. There it is, Zeta 9.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of, like, underground shit, so they call Mole Rats a lot.
Okay.
You probably noticed, though, a lot of the numbers are not repeated. The only one that is actually repeated was Kink Shamers. It is, I think, the only one that has ever actually been rewritten. I could be wrong. Or remade, I guess, is the better term for it. And then we have groups of interest, groups other than the Foundation that deal with the handle of anomalous. Deal with or handle the anomalous. That's the only other thing that's important. Does this pop up? Is that not groups of interest? What is that then? Okay, well. I was going to pull up a list of some of the random groups of interest.
Okay.
There we go. But why is that the fucking picture for it? So there's, again, multiple groups of interest. Big ones are Chaos Insurgency, which are basically just kind of assholes that want all the SCPs to be free. So they're constantly, like, trying to break in and free them. Global Occult Coalition, which I can't remember if they're just, like, sort of SCP, or if they're the alternate universe SCP. It's been a while since I've read Global Occult Coalition.
Okay.
The Fifth Church is kind of big. It's like a whole religious sect around a god that's, like, really fucking stuff up. Dr. Wondertainment is not super big, but if there's an SCP that looks like it could have been a toy, Dr. Wondertainment probably made it.
Okay.
He just kind of makes them and sends them out into the universe.
Dang.
Because I guess he finds them funny. I don't know.
Just girly things?
Yeah. Yes. There are lots of weird ones that they just kind of came up with. But yeah, the only one that's, like, super huge is going to be Global Occult Coalition and Chaos Insurgency, which might come up a couple times.
Okay.
Global Occult Coalition was the UN's take on the Foundation. Thank you. And yeah, they're more focused on actually killing them instead of capturing them.
Okay.
But I did want to touch on this article first, because I thought this one was really funny.
If you have to make an article on it, I'm going to be suspicious. It's like putting it's like putting the black square in your Instagram feed and then just deciding to remove it when the time is right, when nobody notices. Like, why are you removing the black square? Weren't you in solidarity? Because the moment this article goes down, people are going to look at you.
And thank you, Lord Bruticus. When you have no canon, your overall narrative becomes a mess. You can still have alternate universes. Ad Astra per Aspera is my personal favorite, but you still need to have a basic structure. Yeah, they really need to work on that. Thank you, Crazy Koala Man, for the super. You did not leave a message, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And then thank you, Internet Zen. SCP's decline reminds me of Creepypasta Wiki's fall. Tons of pasta, even versus pasta, all were good if cringe reads. Then the admin became pretentious tards and banned Jeff the Killer, and the wiki declined after that.
What do you mean you banned Jeff the Killer? How do you ban Jeff the Killer?
Yeah, you have to just kind of let stuff be, and people get it out of their system, you know? But
ban Jeff the Killer?
So we have an article called "The Foundation is Not Transphobic." For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Jeremiah Cimarine, Site 17's Ethics Committee Liaison. Due to recent events, I have been brought by Site Director Graham to answer questions, hear comments, and reaffirm Foundation policy. So the recent events is this thing. SCP-6113. How long is 6113? Yeah, we could touch on 6113. So this is what caused them to write this article. So, special containment procedures. By the way, chat, if you haven't seen SCP in a while, they've started doing this shit, instead of just saying, like, Keter, safe, Keter, and Euclid. Remember, object classes, most common, safe, Euclid, and Keter. Immediately go to the first one. Containment class, esoteric. Secondary class, multiple. Disruption class, kink. Risk class, warning. And then it's just got all these fucking pictures all over the place. I admit, chat, I can't read these to save my life.
What is it supposed to be?
Yeah. Safe, Euclid, and Keter were really good classifications because they were simple and they were understood once you knew what they meant. Now it's just whatever this is. So if you haven't seen SCP in a while, chat, here it is. Also, they started doing this as well. Despite this was a horror fiction series, they put trigger warnings at the top of articles.
What are you doing? You don't. Here's the thing. I've seen trigger warnings on stuff that actually needed it. What are you doing to put trigger warnings on a horror story unless you are going into some deep doo-doo?
Here's your trigger warnings, by the way. Contains information on the topics of transphobia, gender dysphoria, bullying, abuse, suicide, and transgender experiences. Do not continue reading if these subjects are triggering to you. So special containment procedures. Containment of 6113 and 61132 is not possible at the present moment. Containment efforts of SCP are primarily focused on the suppression of information surrounding it. The following special containment procedures have been implemented. Spread disinformation around it. Locate and detain transgender individuals affected by it and hold them for questioning for no more than 1 week. Update and modify any and all legal records of subjects to reflect their current sex and gender identity. Apply Class A and E amnestics to subjects and any family, friends, and acquaintances, as well as implanting false memories as if the subject was assigned their gender at birth. Release subjects are monitored for 1 month to ensure complacency.
Is this an SCP or is this literal like detainment and deportation?
This is a SCP that gender changes people. It is literally it's the transgender fountain of youth. And people were accusing after reading this, they were accusing the SCP Foundation of being transphobic for not allowing transgender people to freely use this. So they had to write the Foundation is not transphobic to explain to people that not allowing people access to the transgender fountain is a critical SCP infrastructure.
It feels.
Oh, don't you love it?
Listen. One of my favorite characters from One Piece is Ivankov, whose literal devil fruit is changing their hormones and literally developing female body, male body when they want to. This is so.
Yep.
This is. I'm very concerned.
So it's interesting because it has this here, but then you open it up and it says it's Keter class. As of writing, SCP has not been contained in the event of its sighting. Mobile Task Force Lambda 69, 6 Color Crusaders. What the fuck? Is to respond and follow standard humanoid apparition and reality bender containment protocols in an attempt to contain it. The Department of Thaumaturgy has yet to develop a conclusive containment method. So this is what the SCP actually is. A humanoid entity capable of teleportation and disguising as and impersonating human beings. It uses its ability to facilitate transition events in transgender individuals globally.
It
teleports around the world transing people who are already trans.
Would they even be trans at that point? What?
I don't know.
I'm like actually confused. So they go around transitioning people.
Yeah, that want to be transitioned.
Trans.
By the way, that they actually want to be transitioned. It specifically seeks out people that want to transition.
Would it even be a danger at that point? Like, is it killing people?
No. It even says SCP has also been observed to protect subjects from all physical harm, self-induced or otherwise, for a short time before and after appearing to them. It literally prevents trans people from killing themselves.
I'm confused because it's like, okay, so it's only you created a horror creature that really doesn't sound like a horror creature. In fact, it fits right in with Scary Godmother and is actually really kind. It's like, that's not an SCP. That's a fairy tale creature.
It's transgender Mary Poppins.
No. Transgender Nanny McPhee. We gotta get this right. Remember Nanny McPhee? Nanny McPhee got to change her appearance. Therefore, transgender Nanny McPhee.
Yeah. They have another one. SCP is a natural freshwater lake somewhere on Earth at an unknown location. Descriptions are inconsistent and contradictory. However, most subjects recall a lake matching that of forested areas in the Midwest region of the United States. It's the destination for the first SCP and its subjects when conducting transition events. A transition event can only occur when no more than one subject and when SCP, no more than one subject, and SCP-2 are within each other's presence. The steps of the transition event are as follows. So we're going to learn how an SCP transitions people.
Okay.
Also, yes, it is a lake, so it's Ranma 1/2.
So some people are saying, like, okay, I get that not every SCP is horror. Like, obviously, we have the little blob guy who's like, it's like not a horror creature, but technically could grow up to be a horror creature. But my thing is, it's just like, why though? This doesn't look like something that would belong in SCP. It feels like you would just make your own story by that point off of SCP.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even feel like it needs to be contained. It's just kind of doing it for the lulz and then helping people and then kind of just teleporting somewhere else.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like a monster. Even like the good monsters are still that monsters. Like, if it was doing it just to one specific type of person, that'd be one thing. But it's like, it's just doing its thing and then going off to a different continent to do it again. And it just doesn't feel like, it does. I'm like, that's it?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
If this was the first SCP you read, you probably would click off the site and be like, wow, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Artemis. What is transing that couldn't be covered by gender bending? Like, do they want to stay in the gray zone? It's important that you acknowledge that they are trans. That is unironically a thing.
Like, even using, like, Ivankov for an example, like, Ivankov's whole thing is that he can, like, transform his own hormones to be male or female when he wants. He also has a thing where he's like, I can tell if you want to specifically clearly be, like, the other gender. And he has the ability to transform anyone at all times. Not just, like, oh, because he just can. He just is like, hey, you want to do the thing? Or I can tell you want to do the thing. Here's your thing. Now you're affected. Anybody can be affected. But it's just going to specifically trans people, hitting them, and then kind of being their guardian angel for a bit, and then peacing out.
Thank you, Internet Zen, by the way. It says, to answer Kendra's question, because Jeff the Killer was poorly written / not believable. Oversimplified, but that's basically the admin's explanation. In my opinion, they wanted to stop people from making Name the Killer pastas. which is fair.
That's so freaking cringe.
But you have to let people play it out. It would have gone away eventually if they didn't try and stop it.
What is it? It belongs to the SCP because it's an anomaly. It's a natural. It's like if someone finding Bigfoot doing its own thing. It's not hurting anyone or anybody or anyone, but it's still a natural thing in human history. But like my thing is like Bigfoot's still okay. Like using Bigfoot as an example, even though Bigfoot is minding its own business, it's still Bigfoot. It's not like affecting anyone, but it's like the sightings of Bigfoot like prompt so many conclusions of Bigfoot on what could possibly be. Same with the Yeti, same with the Loch Ness Monster. If the Loch Ness Monster just came up to the beach, peaced out and had picnics with everyone, and then just peaced out again to move to another lake, that's not really fun. It's just that's just a dinosaur. That's just a dinosaur.
Yeah. And then thank you, Jerome Morgan. SCP turned into fetish content that went into fairy tales. Pretty sad because SCP was about maintaining normalcy in the public, keeping the peace. So I will say this, right? Because some people have already mentioned it, but I'll mention another one specifically, and I don't remember the exact number. But there's an SCP that is a pill. It is a pill bottle with pills in it. And the pills, if you eat them, cure any ailment perfectly. Okay. Like literally anything. If you have cancer, take the pill, your cancer's gone. It's that kind of thing. And the way it fits into the universe is not just that this is a magical pill bottle that has magical cure-all pills in it. They don't know who made the pills, and there is only a limited number of them. So it's not like infinitely respawning. So the point of the pill bottle is not that these pills exist, it's that somebody in the world made these, and we can't figure out who did it or how they did it, because they can't reverse engineer the pills no matter how hard they try.
Exactly. Like that's what I mean. That's
where the intrigue is.
It's it's the whole point of like explaining the magic. Yes, magic is cool, and the intrigue of magic is there. But if I went on to an entire diatribe of, the ancients, this guy like was a goddess and he did the thing, it's like, okay then, there you go. It's not bad. It's just that's it.
There needs to be some intrigue. Okay. Instead, we just get like a humanoid that goes around transing people that want to be transed.
There's no speculation about like where the creature's from, or I feel like there's like that's it.
Yep. So here's the 8-step process on what it does to you. So it reveals itself to the subject, disguised as the subject's companion, protecting them from physical harm if necessary. In most cases, this happens alone. It is unclear whether it teleports directly or becomes visible. Step 2, it calms and comforts the subject. Subjects do not question why their companion is suddenly accompanying them, as if this is completely normal. Step 3, they suggest they go for a walk, guiding them to the lake. For the subject, the apparent environment morphs to match a theoretical path to SCP-2 as if it were within walking distance. Only the subject perceives this. The actual physical locations remain unchanged.
Okay.
These hallucinations could also be the cause of the varying descriptions of SCP-2. Again, subjects do not question this. SCP-1, engaged in conversation with the subject about their personal life, offers the subject a seat at the edge of the lake, sitting with them. Topics have included school grades, relationships, and future plans. Number 5, at some point the conversation topic naturally shifts to that of gender identity and gender dysphoria. But then it says, parentheses, or euphoria. Which, by the way, gender euphoria, even though trans people have kind of tried to co-opt it, is literally just people that get turned on by seeing themselves as a different gender. It is literally a fetish.
My thing is, like, it's interesting because they start getting into the path. And they could have gone on to something about, like, the path of, like, oh, the subject does not question the path, but we've interviewed other people, and it's like, no, we have not seen sightings of this path. And that's where the intrigue should have been. And it's just like,
it's a
not
therapy
addressed.
session.
Exactly. Like, this is just a therapy session. And it's like, oh, it transforms into their companion. And there's like, we're not going into the fact of like, oh, it's their companion. What type of companion? Their best friend, their close loved one, something special that only they, as the subject, can perceive. Because we know that earlier in the SCP, it said, oh, it has intimate knowledge of the person. Why does it have intimate knowledge of the person? How is it getting this information? Is it a mystery? It's not addressed. If it is a mystery, we just know it has intimate details of the person. And it's like...
To be fair, that's a common problem with SCP stuff, where they're like, oh, it has intimate knowledge of a person through anomalous means. If we sat down and read enough SCPs, particularly older ones, you would get very acquainted with the phrase, through anomalous means. It kind of becomes the catch-all explanation for anything doing anything. It's always been a bad habit of the site on that part.
Like, I can excuse it to a degree, but it's like at some point you kind of just, it's like you're just doing it like, what is it? And then they showed up. That's it.
Yeah. SCP-1 prompts the subject to view their reflection in the lake. When subjects view their reflection in the water, they first see themselves as is. Slowly, the reflection and physical body of the subject will permanently shift until matching their ideal gender identity. The sex characteristics and chromosomes of the subject are primarily affected. This process is similar to that of SCP-113, but notably painless. SCP-113 is a rock that changes your gender.
Oh.
Yeah. Number 7, the subject expresses a strong emotional reaction, most often excitement and joy, but sometimes anxiety and fear, in which SCP-1 responds appropriately. SCP-1 then guides the subject back to their original location, saying goodbye before leaving either via teleportation or invisibility. Very important SCP, very, very key for the horror website.
Again, it's like, I feel like they kind of... This feels like a Disney movie. It feels like they wrote a Disney movie.
He's really gay. Chat is corrected as gay.
It's like, again, it's like they're so... It's like, you know what? A Disney movie is the perfect example. Because Disney movies sometimes have really good ideas, and then because it's contained in the realm of a Disney movie with... sometimes a good writer or someone who's kneecapped by Disney, they just kind of write schlock, and it's just kind of like, I mean, I guess.
Yeah. So, again, the Foundation contains stuff that is anomalous. So obviously the Foundation wants to contain these two things. Which is led to a bunch... This is the point of the website. But the fact that this exists on the website angered people, because it's like, why would the Foundation want to contain this? Why wouldn't they want to give it to trans people? You know, they should be good to trans people. Which then led to the Foundation is not transphobic, which serves as both A, addressing the community, and B, is a quote-unquote in-universe, basically like write-up from an HR representative to be like, we're not actually transphobic, but we're supposed to contain shit.
Yeah,
that should be when you know that your community is too far gone. In my opinion.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, like, again, I don't really care, but like at the same time, I'm kind of like on the fence of like, why would you contain this? Like, it doesn't really, again, you've literally written a Disney level character, and it's like, I mean, I guess
they contain anything anomalous. SCP has tons of items that would benefit mankind. Yeah, no, they contain anything that's anomalous. Mizu, you're dealing with a younger generation of writers now. You're asking too much literary complexity. Thank you, Kevin. It's nice to see you here. Thank you, Artemis. Kendra's asking too many questions. Call containment. And then Internet Zen Master has 2. Mizu, show Kendra SCP-173. I dread to see how much they butchered our murderous Peanut statue.
Peanut?
So SCP-173 was one of the original 4chan SCPs, because if you didn't know, SCP started on 4chan.
Okay. Yes,
and it was
obviously.
just a stone statue with a funny face kind of painted onto it. And it was admittedly a ripoff of the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. If it left your sight for even a second, like if you blinked or if you turned around and stopped looking at it, it would immediately teleport behind you and break your neck. And one of the intrigue things about it was they kept it locked in a room because it couldn't teleport. It basically moves extremely fast. It's kind of described as teleportation because you can't see it happen, obviously. If anybody is watching it, it doesn't move, even if it's like through a camera or something.
Yeah.
So it just like super speed moves, but that's also why they were able to just put it in a metal box and it's never able to get out of the metal box. But one of the interesting things that was included in it was they have to regularly send in people to clean the metal box because despite the fact that it is under constant supervision, piles of blood and shit just like start collecting in the box.
Mm-hmm.
It never moves, it never goes anywhere, and they never put anything in the box, but like slowly blood and other stuff starts to fill inside the box, even though they've been watching it the whole time.
Okay. Is it probably from the cleaning crew you keep sending in?
That's how the original SCP game starts. You go in with 2 other guys, and the power cuts out, causing you all to freak out and blink, and it just starts killing people left and right, and it manages to get out.
Dang.
And then thank you, Internet Zen. Why does this lake want to egg crack random people? This isn't a positive SCP. It's low-key horrifying. 6113 sounds like TFTG fetish to me.
My thing is, like, I feel like it's a completely different... Again, it's kind of like Disney tier of, like... I mean, I guess, but... I mean, it's okay.
It's just funny that they ended up writing this article over it. Like, your own website, your own, like, writers no longer understand what the purpose of the website is. Because they're like, why is the secure, contain, protect foundation securing, containing, and protecting shit? Yeah, that's when you should have been like, man, maybe our community's kind of stupid. Like, maybe we went down the wrong road.
I think, if anything, you should have just redirected them back to the original site, being like, this is how it works. That's it.
But, to Internet Zen, we are not going to touch the murderous peanut. However, I do have 2 old ones that got rewrites that we will be touching. The first one is Just a Teenage Succubus, which is SCP-166. Sorry if it looks a little weird on screen. This is what it looks like on the website right now. It is kind of a super long boy.
Okay.
This is the original, and you can see it has 2 rewrites. So SCP-166, Object Class Keter. By the way, this is what it used to look like on the site. It was just SCP, Object Class, Containment Procedures. It didn't have all that other shit going on. So SCP-166 is mainly peaceful and can be kept safely in minimal security environment. Her physical strength is greater than an average human of similar size and weight, so reinforced doors and exterior locks remain necessary for observation. Windows must be misted, allowing only vague details left visible from either side. SCP-166 is content to remain in her room as long as she is provided with entertainment, such as books and drawing utensils. She also recently gained an affinity for video games. Male staff are forbidden from entering the vicinity of SCP-166, including observing the contents of the room by real-time video surveillance. To avoid accidental exposure, all cameras fed to the observation room at a 3-second delay. Description: SCP-166 was originally obtained in a convent in Cornwall, England. The nuns had been keeping her happy with access to vast data expunged. This was a big thing on the site that became a problem over time, was they just did not want to tell people something for, like, you know, mystery, so they would just put data expunged everywhere.
Okay.
And at the start, it wasn't too bad, but as time went on, it's where the meme came from of just the article that's blacked out more than the Epstein files.
Okay.
Because people started people started using it as a crutch to be like, the entity data expunged. Well, data expunged you. It was discovered in data expunged in the date of data expunged. Like, they just started slapping it everywhere because they didn't want to explain shit. And it became an extremely lazy writing crutch.
And then you data expunged all everywhere, data expunged.
Yep. The Elder Sisters claimed SCP-166 was the offspring of an elder creature of far greater powers than her offspring, but attempts to locate the mother have data expunged to date. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
SCP-166 appears as a slender female human of about 16 to 18 years. Her hair grows at a very advanced rate, about 3 inches a month, but otherwise physically normal. Her skin is noticeably pale even after exposure to sunlight. She refuses to wear clothing and is thus always seen totally naked. Her strength is comparable to that of a fully grown man. Her resilience similarly proves impressive for her size. She is particularly vulnerable, however, to aerosol fumes and cigarette smoke, which send her into fits of coughing and symptoms similar to asthma. SCP-166 has an incredible power over males. Upon eye contact, SCP-166 can directly control any male she sees fit to almost any end. Nothing short of personal bodily harm will force the man back to his senses. SCP-166 could easily, for example, control a male into opening her secure environment, as well as any others nearby, and command him to place a gun to his superior officer's back and pull the trigger. SCP-166 does not, however, seem to be malicious in any way. SCP-6 is sustained entirely on human male semen, which she would normally obtain by her powers over the minds of a desirable male. Fresh quantities are produced for her by staff. Jokes about the origins of this are to be punished with suspension from the project for a week. So, it was kind of like, whatever, you know? Like, she's literally a succubus, and that's kind of just, like, you had to include the sex thing if you're going to do a succubus. But obviously the twist is she's a succubus that was raised in a convent. So she's kind of a nun, so she's not really malicious at all. She's like, oh, I'm a good Jesus girl, kind of thing.
Okay.
But
that's kind of cool.
They decided this was too fetishy. So to make it not fetishy, they rewrote it. So
how is it fetishy? It's a succubus.
The original name was just a teenage succubus. The new one is just a teenage Gaia, or Gaia. It's Gaea, I think.
Yeah, Gaia.
So same thing overall. SCP-166 is contained in a biocontainment Zone C at Site 19, which has been modified to include a hermetically sealed antechamber and industrial-strength air purifier. Containment staff must wear specially designed biohazard suits. Due to SCP-166's unique physiological needs, a variety of loose-fitting organic cotton clothing has been provided to be rotated monthly. So they really took issue with the fact that she had to be naked, so now she has to wear organic clothing. And it's because she's a forest spirit, so she can't wear stuff that's, you know, non-organic. When originally SCP-166 just had to be naked because she was a succubus, and she just found the clothing very uncomfortable because succubus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All meals are cooked according to guidelines provided, with as little inorganic additives as possible. Again, forest spirit thing. Reasonable results for requests for personal items and modifications to the containment suite may be granted upon approval. Update all requests. SCP-166 must be approved personally by Site Director Light. To date, SCP-166 has requested a copy of the Holy Bible, a Catholic Rosary, access to a Catholic priest for confession, mass, and other sacraments, which was denied, then changed to Chaplain Davis has been scheduled to meet on an alternating Sundays after a thorough decontamination process.
Okay.
So the whole like religious thing just doesn't feel the same anymore. Because obviously Succubus being a nun is kind of, funny. But now she's just sort of like a forest fae who happens to be Catholic. And it's like, I mean, now the Catholic thing's kind of just doesn't matter anymore. It's not really important to the character other than just because it was in the original.
It just kind of feels kind of like sanitized in a way, because it's just like, well, dang, like it was actually cool that she was just kind of like, because it's like, oh, she's a succubus, but like from the way it's written in the original, it's like, oh, this is like it's like a succubus if you raise them like a normal girl.
Yeah.
And then they just can't have any contact with men. And it's like, oh, well, now she's like technically has access to a priest after decontamination process. And that's not bad on its own, but it's like, if you can't even look at her through camera feeds, it's like kind of the access to the one male, it's like kind of takes away from it a little bit, but not too much. I feel like it I don't know, it could have been like written a little better.
Yeah. So description, these other ones don't really matter that much. SCP,
like it feels oh, sorry. Well, it just kind of feels like, oh, sorry. You know what? Let me let you finish.
No, you go.
Oh, what is it? What I mean is like, it kind of, I don't know how to like describe it. It just is kind of like can I tell, actually, you know what? That's a perfect example. It seems they took a normal girl who was raised in a nunnery, and it's written by someone who's like, they had a vague thing of like, they had a decent understanding of religion, and they kind of just made her a normal girl who just so happens to be religious. And then in this one, they were just like, it's like they got someone who like not hated religion, but they have all the stereotypes of what a religion is. And it's like, all right, guys, we're going to make them the Catholic stereotype. They basically turned her from a normal girl to a trad wife. That's exactly what they did.
Yep. So she is a European female human it says in its late teens. I'm just going to say her. In her late teens, with undulate features, possessing antlers, hooved feet, and a short tail reminiscent of the common reindeer. Despite these obvious abnormalities, DNA analysis reveals no abnormal genetic traits. Within a 15-meter radius of SCP-166, artificial objects gradually return to an unworked state. Higher complexity objects like electronics or vehicles are affected quicker, with degradation of their metallic components causing catastrophic structural failure in a matter of hours. Rudimentary materials, such as stone buildings or products made of organic materials, decay at a virtually imperceptible rate. Within the same radius, plant life will begin to sprout, often growing in improbable places, such as out of security cameras or ID scanners. So basically just around her, shit becomes like woods. It returns to monkey on its own.
But that's not succubus lore.
Well, now she's not succubus, she's a Gaia.
They just make a new character.
They did. They didn't want the succubus anymore. She's supposed to replace the succubus.
Heck, if anything, you should have just made her a completely different character and then like have her befriend the succubus girl, and then they'd like trade. That would have been more believable than just rewriting the entire character.
Yep.
At least to me. That would have been nicer.
So she possesses a possibly anomalous sensitivity to artificial material and pollutants, with inhalation or contact causing pressure ulcers and symptoms of acute asthma attacks. So they kept the asthma for some reason. Which, again, it isn't as funny with the deer girl having asthma as it does the succubus that can't like be around cigarette smoke. It's just kind of funnier with the succubus.
Also, because she's like now a deer girl, she's not like a deer fae. Like why would she have asthma? She's in nature. Yeah. She's like in nature more than ever. But at that point, you're building up a strong immunity, so it doesn't make sense.
In one case, physical proximity to a smoker caused her to undergo an asthma attack, even though the doctor at the time had not smoked a cigarette for 3 weeks. She was discovered at Our Lady of Mercy Convent in County Galway, Ireland, where it had lived since infancy. It was confirmed by a defecting Global Occult Coalition agent to be the child of threat entity 9927 Black, the goddess, also known as SCP blanked out, who was terminated by a GOC strike team in what would be known as the Cornwall Incident. So her mother was like a forest deity type thing. Allegedly.
Well, but wasn't the whole point that, like, you couldn't find her mom?
Yeah. The agent had refused to terminate SCP-166, instead smuggling it to a Catholic convent in County Galway, Ireland. It lived there until the age of 12, at which point a visitor to the convent accidentally witnessed SCP-166 and reported it to authorities. The agent then contacted the Foundation, agreeing to share GOC intelligence and returned to the guaranteed safety and containment of 166. I want to go back really quick, because if I remember right... So SCP-166 was raised by the nuns in a cloistered environment, her special nutritive needs provided by a local priest, until a young man, Subject A, who sneaked into the convent to visit one of the novices, accidentally caught sight of her. 3 days later, Subject A became violent and attacked the convent, attempting to gain access to SCP-166 for sexual purposes. Subject A proceeded to kill 1 nun and severely injure 3 others before being neutralized by force. So in the first rewrite, she still, like, would cause men to go crazy and want to fuck her. So that part had to still be removed. And you could, I guess you could, like, make an argument for, like, the sex part being weird or whatever. I don't think it was valid. But it makes the capturing make a lot more interesting, right? That her power caused this dude to go crazy and start killing people to try and get at her. Which, like, it kind of keeps that sort of horror theme to it, that kind of going crazy thing. Now it's just been changed to just, oh, he saw her and reported her. Like, okay, fucking whistleblower bullshit, whatever.
I just kind of went from, like, it went from, like, oh, like, how did they capture her? Or maybe they just found her and, like, they got tips. Because, like, when you read the first one, I figured it was like, oh, they probably got, like, a tip from, like, maybe an agent who was in the room, who lived there. It's just, like, and then they found her, and then they, like, learned from the nunnery, like, hey, like, this is what we were doing. This is how we were sustaining and raising her. And then it went from, like, okay, it got violent, actually, and, like, this is the new lore. And then it just kind of went to, well, we saw she had deer hooves.
Yeah.
And then we, like, reported her, and it's just kind of like, I mean, that's kind of anticlimactic.
This is just her talking with the alleged Chaplain Davis, which is kind of whatever. Yeah. So, one that's kind of important, is it this one, I think? I'll do this one. So, Light, what the hell were you thinking? Redacted person, I wanted to make sure she's alright. You wouldn't let me talk to her. I took another route. Light, what you did was so much worse than that. If you just stuck to throwing your weight around to get her amenity, sure, I could overlook that. But you go about trying to give a Class 4 anomaly a phone line to the outside world. The council already dislikes you working at the same site as her. This gets out, you can kiss whatever deal you made goodbye. Redacted, come on, Sophie, she's harmless. The only reason she's in there is because of me. I had to do something. Is the Foundation just going to let her grow up thinking that her... Light, before you say another word, remember this will be public to everyone with a Class 4 clearance. I can redact your name, but I can't stop people from putting the pieces together from an ill-timed outburst. Remain silent. 16 years where she couldn't walk through a city or catch a movie or just go shopping. Doesn't matter if she's in a convent or a Foundation cell. She's being locked up for something she had no choice in, all because of me. It isn't fair. And I can't do anything about it. I could send a strike team anywhere in the world. I know secrets that the most powerful people in the world would pay billions for. And yet I can't even so much as talk to her and let her know that she's not alone. Light says, you've done the best you could, and much more than anyone could have expected of you in an impossible situation. Redacted says, funny how little that makes a difference. You know, I don't care. Write me up. Let's just get this over with. Light says, I'm scheduling you for 6 2-hour sessions with a foundation psychologist. I'll make sure it's glass. He signs off at the end of it. We can expunge this from your record. So the person is, I believe, Dr. Alto Clef, who is, again, somebody sort of like self-insert doctor, who become, like, the point becomes that he fucked the forest deity, the goddess here, and this is his daughter.
That's weird. That's weird. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. like when you had the previous lore of just a girl who is a succubus, the dialogue seems really interesting if you use the original lore. And then it's your daughter, and it's that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's just his daughter. It's like, okay,
like it would make more
fine.
If anything, like why aren't you in containment? Why aren't you also in containment?
Yep.
Like you somehow like banged the forest deity. You should also be in containment.
And it's kind of dumb how they do this, by the way, because again, this is like they redact his name from it because of the whole redaction thing, and the excuse is the following note was discovered within SCP's containment area. But then they have a link to it, obviously, from your loving father, and it says Tombstone of Alto Clef.
Okay.
So it is Clef who is the father.
Okay.
Oh yeah, chat asks, how bad is the rewrite then? For this one into becoming like this.
I like the original because it's just very simple. It's just succubus who was raised basically like a normal girl. I kind of like the fact that it's just a succubus raised by a normal girl, raised as a normal girl. And then it's like she still has to follow the succubus rules, and it's like that extreme. And it's just normal girl succubus. And then it's just like, this is just a different character. And it would have been better if it was just, oh, hey, here's this forest deity. Like, if you want to have him bang the deity, have him bang the deity and pop out a daughter. You know what would have been really interesting? Just having this character, maybe having some similar traits, because obviously some people like the Fays and they're pretty and stuff, and like alluring and stuff like that. And then have them like interact with the old lore and the new lore, and these specific SCPs get along. And together, they're like a double threat, like a double, triple threat. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. Like, it should have just been like that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
Like that's all you have to do. Don't, like, change the lore just because, oh, well, that's creepy or that's icky, it's yucky. It's a succubus. It's succubus.
So to point out, because chat's saying I think Clef was still her daughter when she was a succubus. Clef was still her father in the first rewrite, where she was still, like, bringing men, like attracting men. He was not her father in the original. It was only the rewrite. And then obviously we have rewrite 2, which is the one we just read.
Yeah.
And the Internet Zen says, hold up, Dr. Clef cracked the forest deity instead of, secure, contain, and protecting the world from the goddess. What is this crap? It feels more self-inserty than it did before.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to kind of take away that aspect of it, and I don't think it did.
My thing is, like, you can have that. Like, if you want to do a self-insert SCP where it's like, oh, hey. Because, like, you even, like even in Hollywood movies, they have the one scientist that goes rogue, and they, like, do anything for, like, their super secret experiment or a super secret experiment child. Like, stuff like that happens. But, like, at that point, why not make it, like, interesting lore of having, like, the scientist contained? It's like, oh, this SCP technically, like, family, like, subjects 1, 2, and 3. And it's like, they are, like, it would have, like, leaned into the lore of, this is a normal family, but it's, like, a normal family of, like, that should not have happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also,
like, that would have been cool.
we're not gonna read this one, but I think somebody in chat mentioned it, so it reminded me of it. I just want Kendra to know about this one. So, just so chat knows what I'm showing Kendra, and I think most of chat knows where this is gonna go.
What the heck is that?
This is SCP-1470. They are called Mal-O, M-A-L-O, by most people. Let me see if I can find a good example of it. So for some reason,
sad.
Yeah, this is a good enough one. I'll send it to you, Kendra. I wouldn't open it up on stream. It's kind of sus. Yeah. This is what has happened to Mal-O over time, specifically. I don't know how it happened specifically, but it's kind of what Mal-O is known for now.
You know, I was kind of scared, and now I'm no longer scared of the original image. I'm very concerned.
Yeah, it is. She's kind of, first off, she's become a she, but she has become this. It's like it's a whole thing now.
They FNAF'd her.
They did FNAF Mal-O.
They toy cheeked her. You know what? The Fox Girl. They did the Fox Girl.
Yeah. So that's yeah, people know Mal-O is the sex SCP. There is if you go to like some furry sites, I think an animation of her is like literally one of the top rated animations on like all of E621.
What?
I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened, how we got there, but we got there somehow.
I fear the monster bangers, bro. I fear them. I feel them so greatly.
But we're not going into Mal-O. I just saw somebody mention Mal-O in chat, and I wanted Kendra to know what happened. So chat, we're gonna go into a very famous one that I think even Kendra is like vaguely aware of. Which is we get
it, Gabby.
Plague Doctor.
I'm sorry. We get it, Gabby. You're horny.
Gabby's always horny.
Oh. Also, Foxfruit, I'm seeing your stuff. It's not the fact that these are like terrible, because like if you like, what is it? Because it's not that they're like terrible stuff where it's like, oh, this is a great sin or whatever. But it's kind of like seeing like the original lore of your favorite series. Like, oh, I see why this is all like really cool and stuff. This is great. This is like amazing. It's not the best. It's not perfect, but it's serviceable. And then it's like they changed it in a way where it's like you gotta just Disneyfied it, sanded it down, and took off all the edges. And then kind of fanfictify it, even like instead of like making it your own, even if it's fanfictified. Like you can just do better. Like it could just be better.
Yeah. Supposedly Mal-O is based on someone's fursuit in the first place. Fair enough. I don't know like the full history on Mal-O.
Big and Berry's just bed breaking sex. That's it. Bed breaking sex.
So, before I get into Plague Doctor, which I think everybody knows Plague Doctor at this point, we're not going to cover it yet, we're going to get to it in a minute, but I want to skip ahead to Liar, which is the transgender satellite. You'll probably notice up in the top right corner here that unlike our rewrite of Mr. Guy here, and our original version of Mr. Guy here, there is no rating.
Okay.
There's no actual rating thing for this. So, Liar is where we learned that the site administrators could do a couple different things. First off, they can remove your ability to rate these entirely. But second off, we found out that they can manually adjust the ratings. Because they got upset that people were downvoting this one, so they just kept manually adjusting the likes to be higher.
Oh.
Which I only bring up because this is the original Plague Doctor. The very famous one that everybody knows about. 178 positive ratings. This is the rewrite. Over 5,000. I do not believe the ratings on some of the new SCPs are legitimate. I genuinely don't.
I don't, on the sheer fact that I kind of think this old design looks really... And this new design looks kind of meh.
Yeah.
It's kind of Just on the design alone, it's just like it doesn't feel Plague Doctor like this one.
Like and you can see it, right? This is SCP-166, which was a famous one. This is the rewrite. This only got about 900, and the rewrite for this one was done very, very early on in its lifetime. The Plague Doctor got rewritten much more recently, comparatively. I genuinely believe these numbers are just made up. I don't believe this many people actually voted on it.
I don't even think there's enough people even on it's like, oh, like the series has been around for over 10 years. It's like, okay, but like, would there even be enough people to even get to 5,000 like that?
Yeah. Like, it's weird that they're not rating anything else, but all of the new ones that need the support are getting like these extremely huge ratings boosts.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this is the original Plague Doctor, who is, most people know the Plague Doctor. It was a famous SCP, and it's featured in most games. It is a humanoid in appearance, standing at 1.9 meters tall, weighing 95.3 kilograms, using fake units. Cringe. However, the Foundation is currently incapable of studying its face and body more fully, as it's covered in what appears to be the garb of the traditional Plague Doctor from 15th to 16th century Europe. The material is actually a part of its body, as microscopic and genetic testing shows it to be similar in structure to muscle, although it feels much like rough leather and the mask much like ceramic. It was originally discovered in Blank, England by the local police. Mobile Task Force Redacted responded to a suspected outbreak of data expunged. All civilians within a 0.5 kilometer radius were given Class A amnestics as part of the initial containment procedure. Also, I probably don't have to explain it too much because it's in the name, but it occurs to me I did not mention this. So amnestics are basically just a thing they make that literally brainwashes you into forgetting stuff. It is is pills, but it is their version of the Men in Black like light thing that makes you forget.
Yes.
And
okay.
They have different classes based on like how much you need to forget or how important it is that you forget it.
Okay. That's cool.
So it says SCP does not speak. See Addendum A1, although it seems to understand English perfectly well and is completely docile until it tries to perform surgery. SCP-49's touch is invariably lethal to humans. After contact with its hands, the victim, hereafter referred to 492, suffers data expunged and dies within moments. SCP-49 will then attempt to kill all humans it can see in a similar manner, supposedly to avoid interruption, before returning to 492. It produces a bag made of data expunged, containing scalpels, needle, thread, and several vials of an as-yet unidentified substance from somewhere within its body. Research has been unable to locate these tools when inside of SCP-49 through X-rays and similar techniques. It begins dissecting 492, as well as inserting various chemicals into the body. After approximately 20 minutes, 49 will sew up 492, and it will become docile once more. After a period of a few minutes, 492 will resume vital signs and appear to reanimate. However, it seems completely without higher brain function and will wander aimlessly until it encounters another living human. At this point, its adrenaline and endorphin levels increase to approximately 300% as it attempts to kill and blank any human beings it can find before returning to a mindless state and wandering until it comes across more humans. At this stage, termination with extreme prejudice is allowed. Failure to enforce this protocol outside of testing scenarios is punishable by termination. So he basically walks up, touches people, they die, he puts some shit in their stomach, and then they reanimate. It's basically a zombie.
Okay. That's cool.
And then the big part that came with him was the interview. So he asks, "What is this place?" The doctor replies, "It's a lab." There's a loud crash as the doctor drops something. SCP replies, "A laboratory. It's quite marvelous. I now find it no wonder I've seen so few victims of the disease in here." The doctor says, "Yeah, you see, I thought you incapable of speech. I'm startled you can." The SCP says, "Oh my yes, good sir, I simply prefer not to. Most victims of the disease are quite melancholy and do not react at all well to conversation. I have seen you several times now, and I have not detected the disease in you. Therefore, I assume you are also a doctor." He replies, "Yes, actually call me redacted. But what diseases are you talking about?" SCP says, "Why, good doctor, the great pestilence. What else?" The doctor replies, "The great the plague. Should have seen that coming. But no one here is infected, I can assure you." SCP replies, "Oh, good doctor, I can assure you the pestilence is here, and I can sense it. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it. My cure is most effective." Doctor says, your cure has cost us hundreds of lives. Your cure is faulty." SCP says, "Good doctor, my cure is most effective." And then he just kind of goes quiet and he does not continue talking with them at that point.
Okay.
So as you can tell, it's kind of left up to interpretation what the disease actually is. Because it's clearly not the actual plague. There's also the fact that a lot of people, we'll see it when we get into it, but he specifically says that he does not believe the doctor has the plague or the disease. Because he says, I've seen you several times now and have not detected the disease in you." So it's clear that it's not just like humanity is a disease. He specifically says the doctor does not have the disease, or he doesn't believe the doctor to have the disease.
Yeah. That's actually really interesting.
So then we get into his rewrite, because they said that this one was fake and gay and he needed a rewrite because it was...
You know what?
Unironically, they did. They basically said that this particular interview here was really cringe, and it came off as like trying too hard for some reason, so they needed to rewrite it.
What's cringe about it? It's actually really interesting. It sounds like professional. It sounds like movie dialogue. This is something you would. What is it like? Not the Jared Leto Joker. The original, like, what is it? The from that one from the dark. I don't remember which Batman movie it is. I'm a fake fan, but you know, like that one. What is it? You know, like that one. What is it? It's something like you would probably hear like from like Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Very clean, very like professional. He's doing his job, but it's mysterious as to why the job is what it is. And it's like, oh, there's so much you could like speculate about it. Like, it's really good. It was really well written.
Then we have the updated version, which there's a couple big differences. For one, they mentioned that they keep him in a restriction harness, including a locking collar and restraints, and is monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards. He is genuinely cooperative with both the Foundation personnel. Outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with him during these outbursts. In the event he becomes aggressive, the application of lavender has been shown to produce a calming effect on him. Once calm, he generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance. In order to facilitate the ongoing containment, the entity is to be provided with the corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or larger mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of 492 are to be removed from 49's containment cell and incarcerated. 49 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied.
That's... So the other one's fake, cringe, and gay.
Yeah.
But him requesting corpses is not.
I have to point out, so this is a problem that a lot of the rewrites have, is the rewrite assumes you know the original, right? So it just says corpses that become instances of 492 are to be removed. You actually notice they don't mention 492 at all in the opening of this anywhere.
Yeah.
So the only reason you would know what a 492 was if you read the original article, which explains what they are, which immediately makes this bad writing.
Yeah. The number one, they made this like, okay. So in the original, because again, I'm new, and it's like, okay, oh, it's a calm guy. It's like, how did they contain him? Well, clearly, even though he's like calm. He has a sort of willingness to him. It's like really cool. It's like really like, it's like, again, the lack of the mystery, and from how you even see the small dialogue snippet, is he's there willingly. Now, he's still touching people and he's still trying to kill him, but he's a very willing subject that just goes along when he is captured. And then it's like, oh, whatever you're here for, clearly you're here in this facility because of your own purposes. And that's kind of cool that it's small and subtle like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, bigger is not better. It's literally, he's here, whatever he's here for, it's calm, collected, like an actual plague doctor. And you can even say it probably mimicked stuff from actual plague doctors from back then. And it's just kind of like taking all the dialogue from that. And then here it's like, oh, he's immediately aggressive. He immediately has lethal force. Again, like the forest spirit girl, you're taking all the stereotypes of the plague doctor and then kicking it up to a 10, and it just makes it uninteresting now, instead of it just being its own creature with its own motives outside of the stereotypes that it is. It's boring. It makes it boring.
I also have to point out, and a couple of people in chat are already freaking out about it, is sometimes you explain stuff too much. Like, when you mentioned that it seemed like his robes and his mask were a part of his body, that's interesting. When you actually show a fake x-ray of it, it looks retarded.
Yes. It looks bad. Because it's like...
This is why you don't explain it too much, because sometimes explaining it too much makes somebody go, wow, that's kind of stupid.
Again, it's like the magic. You don't explain the magic. And it's like, oh, hey, maybe they did do the x-rays. Guess what?
Yeah.
Don't show the x-rays. It's like, say, hey, something about the x-rays is pretty freaky, so we're not going to show it because it kind of like, it's kind of incomprehensible. But you gave him like a human skeleton. You gave him the beak. It just kind of looks... It just looks dumb. It just kind of looks... It also looks dumb.
It also makes him less intelligent. Because somebody in chat already mentioned it, in this one, he only got super pissy if he thought somebody had the pestilence in them. In this one, he just randomly gets pissy every couple weeks.
Yeah.
He's just got like PMS kind of like, for some reason.
Again, it's like, oh, so he's aggressive 24 hours a day. He's always combative. He's always fighting. It's like, what the heck? It's like this cool, calm, collected demeanor. Like, of course, no, I wouldn't think the votes on this are legit. It's just some aggressive dude. You just basically just made, what is it? You just basically made the most aggressive prison person ever possible, and then just gave him an aesthetic. Like, he's just a generic dude. He's just the most generic prisoner possible, and then he also is able to kill people at a touch. What's impressive about that? You don't have to get regular inmates are dangerous already without having the touch of death. It's like, okay, I guess.
Thank you.
Okay, bro.
Thank you, Akko, for joining in. Says, how many SCPs have you pissed off tonight, Mizu? Mystery is more fun than explanation. That's why Stranger Things stopped being fun after season 2. A couple of other ones I hadn't gotten to yet. Thank you, Internet Zen Master. A, it's Mallow, the furry thirst trap SCP. Tildeer, what happened to Hachishaku-sama? The ring chick, and Sadako happened to Mallow. I can never pronounce the other girl, the one that's like got the clicker sound. Reminds me of what happened to Mortal Kombat's lore over time. Thank you, Red Hair Cross. And then thank you, Internet Zen again. It says, I'm pro AI, but that new image just reeks of AI, while the OG Plague Doctor mask is iconic. Yeah, it does look like kind of an AI generated image.
It looks like somebody who stereotypes of a plague doctor, and then like they kind of twinkified it. That's exactly what they did here. He looks like a twink, which is funny because most plague doctors are already twinks.
So this first part is pretty much the same on the description. Then it says SCP is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though tends to prefer English or medieval French. Well, SCP
that's boring.
Yeah, you're explaining it too much. You can just say he's like very literate in multiple languages. While he's generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become especially irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of the pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to SCP-49. It will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, SCP-49 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-49 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. However, this occurs is currently unknown. Autopsies of SCP-49 victims have... I don't know why I just lost myself. Have invariably been inconclusive. SCP-49 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to then perform a crude surgery on the corpse using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. Yeah, by the way, now it doesn't pull the bag out of the ether. He just carries like a man purse with him at all times, and they refuse to take it from him.
Oh my gosh, they made something cool boring. So what is it? So you just made a creature that its hood, that's literal cloak and garb and everything is in its is like connected in and infused into its body. But in order to do crap, it has to have a purse.
Yeah, it's got a little man purse he carries with him.
Oh my gosh, just made it boring.
While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of SCP-492. 492 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by 49. These instances do not retain their prior memories. It's basically the same thing there. But then we get an actual interview and we get to listen to it. So I don't have to read this time.
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I...
Ah, a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
A medical man, such as myself. Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now, you know what is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures.
When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
I don't know what that is.
Well, I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death. Sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure, but that will come with time, and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more, if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own. In time.
I don't think our organization would be willing to...
Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor. Our work begins now.
So that is how they have changed the interview with him. And it just feels like overly edgy to me.
Not even overly edgy. This isn't even an overly edgy thing. There's too much. Like, yeah. Okay. So what we got from the original thing was that we had a doctor, an assumed doctor of what is this place? It's a lab. Oh, cool. This is a cool place. Here are my methods. You may not understand them, but my methods work. Whatever is my thing that I'm thinking of. And everybody insisting that you're crazy. But he's like, no, unless you see things my way, my cure is effective.
Yeah.
And then the new one is like, oh, hey, so like my cure sucks, but like I'm doing it anyway, guys. And it's like, you just sucked out all the charm. You just sucked out all the charm. And there's too much dialogue here. It's like, he's talking too much.
I like to point out that this was supposed to be, like, this shorter one was like, they were hamming it up too much, and it was too, like, it was too LARPy for them. I think one of the exact things they said was they felt like it sounded like a theater kid trying to pretend like he was French or something. And this one is definitely not that, according to them. This one fixed all the problems that one had.
Oh.
You're right, chat. It's not edgy. I can't think of a good word for it, though.
It's not edgy, but you definitely did describe it as, well, that one sounds like a theater kid who wanted to be really cool, said the theater kid who wanted to be really cool.
Yeah. And then they added a bunch of these. They have another...
He's talking too much! Oh my god.
They have another 3-minute interview here as well.
What do you mean another 3-minute interview?
Yeah.
He's talking too much.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness no. The process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
Oh, I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them, and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. So much dialogue. So much and nothing. I tuned out. I'm sorry. Like, genuinely, there's so much here. It's just like.
There's another one, by the way.
How is the previous one? Like, gets the point across. I'm like, okay. Like, the dialogue ain't even interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. You don't understand my method. Blah, 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 blah. I've seen villains with more.
There's another 2 interviews, by the way.
We're not listening to these other 2 interviews.
You don't want to listen to the other ones.
Oh my god. Somebody sent you a super chat. Mizu, it insists upon itself.
Yeah, thank you, Hato. And then thank you, Internet Zen, earlier. It says, One Punch Man phrase, 20 words or less comes to mind here. The Plague Doctor does not need to explain himself to mere mortals like the Foundation.
Exactly. It's like, you got this creature. He understands that his methods are his methods. And it's like calm down, bro. It's like, this is not interesting. This is boring.
Yeah.
It's like watching a divorce. That's exactly what this is like. It's watching a divorce in like a really bad movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then, so here's the thing. Like, we get to the end of this final interview. This is SCP-49 laughs. Oh, doctor, I wouldn't be so sure. Which then goes into a story. Like a whole...
Oh my gosh. I'm done. I'm deceased.
Yeah. But yeah, that is how they've changed our Plague Doctor, boy. For anybody in chat who was unaware of it.
You know, before this, I was like, you know what? Is there even enough people to have 5,000 on here? And it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm being too harsh. By the end of this, I'm like, I know all 5,000 of those people are fake.
Yeah. The original one was so much better. It was so much succinct and to the point.
It was like, I am a Plague Doctor. You don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to explain to you. It's cool, calm, collect. You know what? A good example between this, that one Joker, the famous Joker from that one movie,
Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yes, compare that Joker to the Jared Leto Joker. That's exactly the exact comparison I can make between these two. This is awful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
But chat, that's gonna lead us in to our favorite SCP of the night. The transgender asteroid. So
all right.
SCP-2721, object class Keter Provincia, changed to Euclid. Special containment procedures, SCP-2721's interface with the servers of Tumblr Incorporated is to be masked according to standard procedure.
There's too many redacteds.
Redacted, any attempt to change the focus or amount of SCP-2721 Liar's blog post is to be treated as a containment breach. Any attempts at tracking down the true identity of Liar or Lord is to be treated as a containment breach. 12 researchers are to maintain blogs on Tumblr in attempts to befriend and further contain Liar. Suppression of SCP-2721 is to be maintained through Procedure 413 Diamond. As of redacted year, Procedure 413 Diamond has been discontinued as a change in condition failed to result in EB class ontological breakdown. Yeah, so this is about the point where SCP starts just like throwing in random ass terms and expecting you to know what they mean.
Okay, I was like, ontological breakdown.
You're not supposed to know what that means. Unless you're like
Okay.
really look into the terms.
Oh.
If SCP begins to enact its directives, Protocol 1111 Scratch is to be executed. The contents of Liar's blog and Lord's private blog are to be cataloged in the database of Site 73. If Lord is to mention any attempt to repair Liar, Protocol 1111 Scratch is to be executed. Crossed out, research is underway to discover potential further anti-memetic properties of SCP-2721. As such, a provisional designation of Keter has been given until the extent of such properties are fully understood. As of blank day, blank month of blank year, no further anti-memetic properties have been detected, and containment has stabilized. Reclassification to Euclid has been approved. SCP-2721 is a satellite of undeterminate origin, currently in a selenio-synchronous orbit on the far side of Earth-Moon. It consists of two entities, designated Liar and Lord, connected by an umbilical cord-like object, which consists of both inorganic circuitry and organic biological components. It's important to note that originally for SCPs like this that come in two components, they do not give them names. That's never been an SCP thing. It's always supposed to be very clinical and scientific. It's supposed to be SCP-27211 and SCP-27212. They're supposed to be just numbers. This person was like, no, they have to have names. My OC needs a name. That's not a normal thing. It's not supposed to be a normal thing.
Okay.
And it's something that should have been called out when it was made.
I can only forgive it because it does kind of make it special, but we'll see if my opinion changes within 5 seconds.
SCP-2721 is able to conceal itself by both passively affecting electronics and generating a weak anti-memetic SCP field. Crossed out information says research is currently ongoing to see if it possesses anti-memetic properties. Due to this fact, SCP-2721's physical form is indiscernible to untrained individuals. SCP-2721 Liar consists of fluxing flesh-like substance, which is covered in what appears to be ocular protrusions. While constantly fluxing, a few characteristics can be determined through its effects on the moon's gravitational field, including mass and redacted. Lord is a spherical dome-shaped entity with cilia-like objects containing redacted protruding across the spherical surface. Due to posts made on Liar and Lord's blogs, coupled with analysis of the EB class ontological breakdown scenarios, Liar is theorized to observe a given planet and generate the SCP field, while Lord is thought to propel its silica toward the planet during an EB class ontological breakdown scenario. So they are just throwing fucking words out there.
Yeah, I'm like, I understand they want to sound scientific, but the problem is like, the whole point is that it's written in a way that people can understand. This is like that. These are like the, what is it? This is literally a moment in a movie where it's like, English, bro. Can you speak it?
War Turkey Pie says an asteroid-sized being on Tumblr. How's that anomalous? Oh, that's rude. And thank you, Anime Trucker. I'm honestly surprised these crazy people didn't do anything to Smokey, giving their likely leanings. I'm surprised there isn't like a Smokey the Bear Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff game. I mean, there probably is actually. Like, I just haven't looked hard enough.
Listen, it's somewhere out there.
It is unknown when SCP-2721 was created and how long it's been in orbit. Though undetectable under normal circumstances, possible depictions of SCP-2721 are present in ancient Greek, Christian, and Mechanite mythologies. Mechanite is like an internal religion to the SCP universe.
Okay.
While the physical makeup of SCP-2721 is unknown, it is theorized to be techno-biological weapon. SCP or entities of similar purposes have been confirmed to be the cause of the EB-class ontological breakdown scenarios on planets 612, 9A4, and 78C, which are just obviously random planets.
Oh, well, that's just boring.
I'd have to look it up and see if they're actually real planets that we've discovered. They probably are. Who knows? And then we get actual dates. On 10/25/2011, routine Foundation scans detected electromagnetic broadcast being transmitted from an otherwise empty section of Luna's surface to the headquarters of social media company Tumblr Inc. These waves resulted in minor server disturbances, which removed the daily post limit on a single blog, later discovered to be Liar's blog. Further investigation led to discovery of SCP-2721. Afterwards, several other anomalies were discovered to result from its presence, such as one of the moon's gravitational field anomalies and redacted. Liar presents itself on its blog as a trans woman artist and blogs exclusively about social justice issues. Its content and the webcomic Homestuck. It has maintained a large group of acquaintances on the website and is well known for its Homestuck theories, drawings, and discussions. Do you have thoughts?
I'm thinking for up until this point, I'm thinking, you know what, this actually doesn't sound that bad. It's okay, because you said, it should be only SCP-1, SCP-2, and it's okay, well, clearly, for instance, it has names, clearly they're important, so maybe they name them to be important. I'm gonna compare this to, because this has a lot of similarities to this one artist I follow called Nil Fruits, or Nir Kajitsu. He has his own kind of similar lore going on about how basically it's called Hi-Fi Club and Bluff Man, the two songs specifically, where they kind of pull this cult for this one god called what is it? I forgot what the specific god in the music video is called, but it's basically its own SCP type thing. And it's oh, well, something happened where the cult leader ended up getting transformed into a kind of electronic entity that traverses and makes people join their cult, and suddenly they disappear or they end themselves and stuff like that. That is how you actually make something interesting, when you try and incorporate social media.
Yeah.
This went from being really cool to bad in 5 seconds.
Also, thank you. Jamie Alsticks in chat says, you know that video that Site42 guy said that that proves this entry is good, actually? I saw it. He compares this to Dante's Inferno. No, I'm not kidding. Yeah, that's terrible. I'm gonna have to watch that video. And thank you, Internet Zen. I remember there was a Digimon creepypasta with a man eating Karabon named Karanam. I wish to manifest Karanam into reality and turn it loose on the author of SCP-2721 and SCP mod staff for this cringe.
I'm sending you the music videos of Hi-Fi Club and Bluff Man specifically, because it's you made this is literally that but better. It's literally that but better. It's literally Hi-Fi Club's lore is just this lore, but better. This is pathetic.
Isaac says, I'm a super chat this so you see it. Is this a literal Ham Planet self-insert? A lot of people believe this is a self-insert, but people insist it's not. So then we have the other satellite, which is called Lord. Lord maintains both a primary aesthetic blog and a secondary private blog, in which it talks about its feelings regarding Liar. Given Lord's blog post, it is theorized that a malfunction in Liar's programming caused it to become fixated on the webcomic Homestuck instead of its original directives. And this is some section from Liar's blog, which is my name's Lyris. You've probably seen my Homestuck stuff, But if you're here after reading some discourse post I wrote, I'm sorry to say you're going to arrive in a world of disappointment. I normally try to stay away from getting too heavy on the issues anymore. I'm mostly here to post my bad Homestuck theories and talk to friends. I think that's it. Oh, and art. I do art too, I guess. If I follow you, I'd like you to tag for trypophobia, scopophobia, homophobia, transmisogyny, alien abductions, and any mention or imagery associated with childbirth or menstruation. Sorry, it's for dysphoria reasons. I'm not a grossed out misanthrope, I promise. Remember, it's a satellite. It's not humanoid in any way. It's like just a rock floating in space.
I think the worst part about this is like okay, let's say we accept the fact that they did the Homestuck stuff. Cringe as it is, they could have stuck with it. You would have had me. This dialogue could have been rewritten to be so much more menacing in a threatening way. Again, because I actually follow somebody who knows how to freaking write a similar story like this, but better. I'm like, this could have been way better, but we're not better. We're stuck. You know what? Like I said, there's a reason why none of these people are actually like have a career in actual writing, because nobody would take this with a 5-foot pole.
We have this one. I've never really felt comfortable about my body, but being here on this website and reading fucking Homestuck has helped me realize what I wanted, what I want me to be. Calliope is probably the reason why. Honestly, I choose womanhood like she did. Not that there isn't dysphoria for me. It's this person up here. It's this person up here that she drew.
Okay.
And she's who I feel like sometimes. She's just this strange person none of you will ever understand. Just aping things she's seen other people do in attempts to be happy. Playing a kind of beauty that she could never attain. It was the first push I'd felt told me I could change for the better, that the past and even present isn't gospel. Told me that even if my dreams weren't always going to come true, happiness could. Jesus, did that even make sense? I just hope he drops the update soon.
Huh?
What is this one? So this one was hidden for some reason, which tells me that it's supposed to have like a trigger warning or some shit in it. My body is a fucking grotesque amalgam of flesh. It's just a fucking lump of cells and whatever other garbage which gathered together on some damn space rock one day and set up shop. And I've got to live with that. I've got to live with some damned thing I never wanted, dealing with grief over its day-to-day functions, playing a game with the gravest consequences, and I just want it to be over. I just want to be done. I never fucking asked to hold my fate in my hands, let alone the fate of others. It isn't fair. It isn't fair. It isn't fair. Why? Why am I just a fucking horror terror of tissues? Just such an enormous eldritch fuck up. It's like Lovecraft got up off the pot one day, and when he wiped, he decided to keep the fucking shit-smeared toilet paper for inspiration. Framed it after his death, and was sold at an auction to a dumb family who takes goddamn family photos with it. There it is, shit-stained TP, just sitting in the background waiting and watching. Kids see their baby pictures and ask parents what's in the background, and told it's a goddamn Howard Phillip Lovecraft shit wipe, still covered in his biological matter, and they better be goddamn grateful. And you know what? This is fucking poetry right here. I'm gonna make that something.
You know what? I'm done for. I'll be right back.
Oh. It's so funny. Oh, give me a sec. Oh. Yeah, no, if you've never actually read through the article before, chat, it is worse than you could imagine. So it's an actual rock? Yes, it's an actual rock floating in space behind the moon. Oh, God. Give me a sec. Oh, God. This is what will eventually happen to the Warhammer 40k lore, isn't it? I'm sorry, Taz, but it's probably true. Oh. Which articles have you guys gotten before this? When we did the Plague Doctor and the Teenage Succubus, so we could check the rewrites. We're only just now starting the extra articles. This is what really happened to SCP. It is. And she has a poem here at the bottom, chat. Lyris, they are one grotesque amalgam of flesh. She is a horror terror of tissues. I am the eldritch fuck up. Lovecraft's shit stain. Medium ass paper. That's fucking poetry. Oh. Beyond awful. Oh, it is. And people online will tell you that this is good. This is a good article, and you just don't get it. Thank you, Internet Zen. So apparently cars from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure just got stuck behind the moon, and this is what happened to him. Truly a fate worse than death. This physically hurts. You're welcome, chat. I can't believe I actually broke Kendra that bad. That she had to step away. Chat, do we want to, because I have a lot of stuff that I had pulled up, and I guess maybe I won't have enough time to get through all of it. Do you guys want to come back to this another day and keep going with more of them? And just like absolutely ruin our minds. What do they call it? Cognito hazard. Because I have like a big list of extra ones to go through, and we definitely won't get through all of them tonight. Part 2. Of course, tomorrow we have Lautism, and Friday, I'm not streaming Friday. I will be joining Shiroi for her birthday, and I will try and force all of you to go over to watch to join Shiroi for their birthday. I despise that to no end. Let's do it next week. If anybody wants to submit more suggestions, I am taking suggestions in my my suggestions tab on Discord. It's just a way to torture Kendra for all the Anituber videos. Well, I've learned that it's fun to show Kendra stuff that she doesn't know. They have to be the bad ones. We could consider doing good ones for one day. But, like, what's the point of reading the good ones? God, I, like, properly killed Kendra. She's completely broke. And we still have so much more to read through. Sharing can be fun. Yeah, sharing is caring. Oh, wait. No, so somebody asked what all we did. We actually did Plague Doctor, previous Plague Doctor. We did Teenage Gaia and Teenage Succubus. But we also did the transgender being, or the spirit that runs around transing people. I don't know what we're going to call it. We have to come up with a better name for it. Don't do 001 proposals, too confusing for a newbie. I mean, it's actually not hard to explain 001 proposals. I want to read the pizza box one. Show Kendra a good one. I wonder what this writer is up to nowadays. I don't know. Does it tell you who the writer is? I don't know where it puts everything on these. Co-author of this rewrite. Dolphin Slug Chugger. Do they one? I don't know. I'd have to look through them. I genuinely don't know how to use Wiki.dot as like a website. It's always confusing to me. Account deleted. Had 20 pages. Drag away from the negativity on this one. I do have to say I'm a fan of it. I do agree with some discussions. Someone up discussion that despite what they are, Ellie is very relatable. The characterization of both parties is really the strength of the piece. Is both parties are believable and real, despite being, you know, two halves of a satellite. Still have basically no clue of anything to do with Homestuck, outside of I think Toby Fox did some music for it. So I'm infinitely sure I missed a lot of winks or nods in there, but it's not an article that depends on them or anything like that. And then the last thing the post, due to the circular nature of arguments that keep popping up on here and the potential for inflammatory remarks to cause users harm and distress, this discussion page is being locked until further notice. Threads made in other parts of the forum asking why this page has been locked or similar topics will also be locked. You are not allowed to talk about this article, and you are not allowed to complain about this article. You have to like the article, chat. You are required to. Try getting Akko if you're going to do a part 2. I'm sure Akko would love to join us for a part 2. Damn, Kendra like full died. That's tragic. This isn't even the trans article. Thank you, Internet Zen. I think you need to give Kendra a white pill and show her 999 as a treat. Gabby said Kendra went to smoke 500 cigs. There's an SCP that only attacks trans people and forcibly detransitions them, by the way. I want to see that one. I don't remember that one. Two 911. Oh, sorry, it's Series 3. I miss it. 911. Chaser? Non-consensual sex acts, child abuse, depictions of torture, depictions of transphobia. Hostile sapient entity of unknown shape and size whose primary anomalous property is the ability to create and manipulate human flesh. Although its origins remain unknown, sightings have been documented in niche queer communities as an urban legend since 1989. During the nighttime hours, it infiltrates high-traffic spaces wearing a functional human body as a carapace and targets individuals between the ages of 10 and 71 undergoing or having completed gender transition. The anomaly's only known anatomical features are its eyes, which occasionally become visible within its mouth during speech. Once SCP-2911 successfully engages in conversations with an individual, it will constantly attempt to persuade them to admit it into their residence. If granted access, 2911 will attack them at the earliest opportunity and employ its anomalous capabilities to detransition the individual. This process is completely painless. The after effects include, but are not limited to, hormones corresponding to the opposite sex. All fat is redistributed according to its original pattern. Body hair growth and muscle mass align with pre-transition states. In male individuals, musculature is adjusted to the parameters of the average professional athlete. The results of gender-affirming procedures and hormone replacement therapy are undone, with any scars associated with the former fading completely. Despite being rendered unusable, the vocal cords' new structure prevents them from producing any voice incongruent with the expected range of the birth sex. Skeletal morphology is modified to emphasize the features of the birth sex in an exaggerated manner. You become a hotter version of your original self. Susceptibility to diseases prevalent in birth sex increases, though through fluctuations in the immune system. In female individuals, the size of breast, gluteal muscles, and thighs is conspicuously increased. You get a fatter ass and fatter tits. Oh, it's so stupid.
I came back from getting from contemplating my life and getting something to eat. During the time I went to go grab spaghetti, I let my mind clear from the abyss.
Well, I'm bringing you back into the abyss.
So, what did you just have me read?
I didn't have you read anything. I read it.
Why did you? You know what?
Oh, shit! Oh, well, I just dropped my fidget toy. I needed that.
Yes.
So I was thinking, because we've got kind of an idea of Liar, right? So there's multiple posts from Liar. I thought maybe we kind of skip past them. We go to Lord, see what Lord says. Because I think you've got an idea of what this is. It's just trash, like Tumblr writing. None of it's good.
The worst part of the last one we read before I went off is that half of it, even though it was still badly written, it's still good in a way.
Yeah.
And then it started going on a diatribe about how they're a poop stain on the world, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gone. I'm done. It's too much. It just keeps going. It just kept going, no matter how many times I put my hand in my head.
But then we have Lord, which is the other one. She has asked me to call her she, her pronouns, she tells me. She of the tongue of earth. She enjoys it. She says she has found something worthwhile. She is reading a comic, she says. She asks me to make a blog. She shows me the blog site. It is filled with images and sounds and colors. She tells me to put whatever pleases me on my blog. She tells me I can talk about my secret feelings on this blog. She assures me that she will never look at it. She also talks to other entities about the pictures and words in the comic. The entities on the planet we are sent to monitor and then end. She tells me not to do it anymore. We will not do it anymore. She will not let me. She says that she is afraid of it, what we will do. I do not understand being afraid of what is natural. I do not understand humor. She has started making jokes with me. She tells me this is humor. I understand what humor is. I do not understand the point of it. She tells me things called jokes. That is what the comic is about, she says. It is jokes. I do not like jokes. They seem to be lies or frivolous events. They are strange things that have no place in what we are.
This one's actually a lot better.
Yes.
It actually feels like a creature who because you can do a creature that finds a social media site and it trying to understand humans. The last one was just bad. This is just an actual creature being like, what is humanity and what are you even trying to do? I don't understand what you're doing. An actual disembodied creature who just does not care about humanity or something. It's almost like there's some very small hints of clever writing that would have worked with someone else.
Yeah. She has asked me to call her Lyris. We never had names. I have fixed her before. She has fixed me before. We were broken then. She tells me we are not broken now. She tells me she is happy. I do not understand where there is room for happiness. She has asked if she should call me Eli. I said yes. I do not understand why I need a name. We have never had names. She is malfunctioning, but she says she is happy. She does not want to remember how we look. She says it is dysphoria, when one feels bad that their body does not look the way they want it to. I do not understand the body. I do not understand feeling pleasure or displeasure in the way I look. Lyris is drawing now. It makes her happy, she says, to draw. She enjoys drawing the strange things from the comics she enjoys. I worry that if I do not fix her, she will become something completely other than what I am. I worry that I could be broken. Am I broken too? She would not fix me. That is, unless I fixed her. That is, unless I repaired her damaged self. I could revert her to a state before this strange place, before these strange words, and before these strange pictures that have made her so different. I do not remember ever worrying. I do not know what she would do in my position. I do not know what I will do. So, I think it's pretty obvious for anybody that gives this like 5 seconds of thought that this is supposed, again, heavy emphasis on supposed to be a analogy for like somebody and a trans person and their supportive friend that doesn't really understand what being trans is about. The analogy doesn't work when the satellite is just literally trans.
Yeah.
It's not an analogy at that point.
It also doesn't help that, like, in order to get to writing like this, you have to sit through that.
Yeah. Like, the second part is what they wanted to actually make into the SCP, I think. The problem is, to get to the second part, they don't have a clever way to write the first part. Again, they're just like, it just has dysphoria. It's just genuinely a transgender asteroid. It's like, or you could have come up with literally anything else.
Or you could just, again, do what Bluff Man did and have it be this charismatic creature that just doesn't understand humanity. Instead of having them be like, hey, hello guys, I'm your Tumblr blog site here. No, it's like, hello everybody. I'm trying to understand things, and then they say, because like, where's like the, like somebody mentioned earlier, where's the redacted part? They could have had like a ton of stuff redacted of them saying things that just normally would not make sense for a Tumblr blog post, and just keep going with that. And it's like, oh, I can understand why, like, the other one's saying we need to fix him, because they're saying things and doing things that make no sense. And then they're also participating in human customs that, again, to this creature, make no sense. And it's just painful, because it could have actually been something. And it's not.
Yeah, so keep in mind everything else we read. This is how it ends, right? This is the last message on the thing. She drew a picture of us. Okay. She said it is something to put on her main blog. It is something for me. I am posting it here because it is good for things which please me to be on my blog. I think she is beautiful and she is my friend. She says the image is only a sketch that is unfinished. I do not think so. I think it is perfect. She says I am her Moirail. It is an invention of Homestuck. I am not sure what it exactly means. I am not sure she does either. I believe it means a friendship of love, a love platonic. I believe that she too is my Moirail. I am breaking, I think. I may already be broken. I am repaired otherwise. I do not understand so much. She is pleased, and that is that which matters. I do not remember caring about her happiness so dearly. I do not remember caring about happiness. She is beautiful, even if she thinks she is a monster. She forgets that she is the only one who watches, who catalogs. I am the one who does. I will remain broken as long as she is happy. I will not do what I am here to do. I will not commit the act I am here to do. I will not do what fulfills my purpose. I will love my friend until the parts that make me crumble into dust. I will make this world one worthy of us both. And it's like... You're so close to having an idea. You're right on the edge. But you don't know how to do it without explicitly just making it a self-insert.
It's weird because it's like, again, we like have stories where it's like, if you know how to do it right, you get really phenomenal stories about this. Like I've said earlier, and even like in my other streams, my favorite series usually have something to do with like body analogies and stuff like Land of the Lustrous or Kaiba and stuff like that. Those are stories that even though they don't explore the full concept, you get a good idea of like the possibilities of what the world or what the characters have in store. This is something that like, this is like the first draft. This is like someone's first draft that they started in high school. And then they got better at, and then something they probably would have gotten better at if they had like a couple more years of understanding writing, and then coming out with something even better later down the line. This is the first draft.
Yeah.
It's bad in like multiple ways, because like I can understand why someone would be interested. The second half is interesting, and the first paragraphs are interesting.
It's all of this in the center, though.
Yeah. It's really... Also, they could have been really Tumblr. They could have been subtle about the Tumblr blog thing, like, haha, cheeky reference there. They could have abbreviated Tumblr to where, like... They could have abbreviated Tumblr to, like, TMBR or something to make it like, haha, for those who know, this is Tumblr, ha ha ha. Like, again, it could have been interesting. And it's just, this is someone's first draft. Like a really bad first draft that you have to have your editor come in and be like, all right, this is a good start. Now go read some more stories on how to actually write so that you can actually make a good story.
So while you were gone, I have volunteered you to come back for a second round of more stories because we have a bunch and we're coming to the end tonight. But before I send you off, people wanted to touch on this one. So you know how up here in the front, we had the bean that just goes around transing people?
Yes.
Apparently, we have this one, which is a bean that just goes around untransing people. It is, by the way, it's because they have code names, right? If you actually go to... which I haven't mentioned this before yet, chat, but if you haven't noticed, the actual layout of the website just constantly changes depending on what page you click on, and it's kind of really annoying. Like, it gets really wild sometimes, like this one, where it's just completely different. But if you go to, like, the actual SCPs, you see, like, SCP-1000 is Bigfoot, because Bigfoot's an actual SCP. SCP-1003 is Tapeworm Child. Like, they have specific names for them.
Yeah.
This one that we're at is called Chaser. And for people who don't know what a chaser is a person who fetishizes trans women and wants to specifically have sex with trans women. So I'm gonna take us through this one because I think you're gonna love this. In all cases where SCP-2911's activity has been confirmed, the Department of Continuity is to suppress any type of media coverage and administer amnestics. The victim is to be closely monitored and inspected by Foundation agents embedded in medical spaces to prevent meaningful recovery from their current condition, thereby avoiding the exposure of Chaser's existence. Any changes to Chaser's known predatory pattern are to be immediately reported to the Department of Continuity, and the anomaly will be reassigned as Keter accordingly. Chaser is hostile, sapient entity of unknown shape and size, whose primary anomalous property is the ability to create and manipulate human flesh. Although its origins remain unknown, sightings of Chaser have been documented in niche queer communities as an urban legend since 1989. During the nighttime hours, Chaser infiltrates high-traffic spaces, wearing a functional human body as a carapace, and targets individuals between the ages of 10 and 71 undergoing or having completed gender transition. By the way, 10, just so we're clear. Age of 10, completed gender transition. Fuck off. The anomaly's only known anatomical features are its eyes, which occasionally become visible within its mouth during speech, which is, you see in the picture here, you see the two little eyeballs in the mouth.
Yes.
You could have like a little body horror going on with that, but that's not what we're here for, apparently.
Yeah.
Once SCP-2911 Chaser successfully engages in conversation with an individual, it will constantly attempt to persuade them to admit it into their residence. If granted access, Chaser will attack them at the earliest opportunity and employ its anomalous capabilities to detransition the individual. This process is completely painless. This is where the funny part gets. The extra funny part, because it's already pretty bad. The after effects include, but are not limited to, hormones corresponding to the opposite sex are rendered inactive, while those associated with the birth sex upsurge to exceptionally high and even toxic levels. All fat is redistributed according to its original pattern. Body hair growth and muscle mass align with pre-transition states. In male individuals, musculature is adjusted to the parameters of the average professional athlete. So not only does this motherfucker detransition you, he detransitions you into peak physical performance for some reason.
Listen, can I encounter that? Can I encounter that?
Yeah.
I want to be in my peak physical form.
The results of gender-affirming procedures and hormonal replacement therapy are undone, with any scars associated with the former fading completely. Despite being rendered unusable, the vocal cords' new structure prevents them from producing any voice incongruent with the unexpected range for the birth sex. Skeletal morphology is modified to emphasize the features of the birth sex in an exaggerated manner. Susceptibility to diseases prevalent in the birth sex increases through fluctuations in the immune system. In female individuals, the size of the breast, gluteal muscles, and thighs is conspicuously increased.
Oh man, I could be hot and keep my boobs.
So if you were a guy, you just become LeBron James, and if you were a woman, you just become Jennifer Lawrence. In female individuals, Chaser induces pregnancy. You become a Giga Chat or a MILF. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Kendra?
I'm very concerned about the pregnancy part. Why pregnancy?
Well, for prepubescent subjects, these effects occur alongside puberty. So if you haven't hit puberty yet, you sure as fuck are now. And you're getting pregnant.
The SCP. Listen, forget about the SCP that writes Tumblr fanfic. The SCP that induces teen pregnancy.
And makes you thick as fuck. He makes you thick as fuck and makes you pregnant. Internet Zen says, so the Chaser is hostile, but the egg cracking lake is a-okay. Where the hell does the pregnancy part come from?
Well, you see, the egg cracking lake has conversation with me. This brother doesn't even offer me a drink.
Also, sorry I didn't read your other ones. Internet Zen says the title of Dysphoric Satellite would have worked better than Trans Asteroid. And I think you need to give Kendra a white pill and show her SCP-999 as a treat. We're reading bad ones, though. Following the main transfiguration process, SCP Chaser causes the individual to develop cerebromedulospinal disconnection.
I'm assuming it's
Also
'cause
known
it
as
says
locked-in
cerebral.
syndrome. I've heard of locked-in
Okay.
syndrome before. I didn't know it had like
Okay.
the specific name for it. Do you know what it is?
Oh, cool. Telling by this, it has cerebral and spine. I'm assuming it has to do with the halting the brain and the spine,
You're-
like locking in like your
It's
body.
called locked-in syndrome because your entire body becomes paralyzed to the point you are basically stuck in your own body and that's it. Like you
Oh, so kind of like becoming a vegetable.
yeah, but you're still conscious, which makes it worse.
Okay.
Like, because when you're
Oh,
a
okay,
vegetable,
okay.
you're actually out of it. If you have locked-in syndrome, you are completely conscious at all times.
Oh.
It is literal, like,
Oh.
it's a real condition, and it is horrifying.
Oh. I think at that point, kill me.
Yeah. Well, the problem is it's hard to tell if somebody has it. It's hard to tell if they're a vegetable or if they're locked in. And if they're a vegetable, they kind of don't want to off you.
I think if you do either or, I think either or at that point just cut me off, bro.
Cut it out. Afterwards, Chaser exits the residence and targets all subjects who could potentially assist the victim in retransitioning. Upon locating them, Chaser will perform an irreversible procedure analogous to a lobotomy before disappearing. So he turns you into a thick, pregnant teenage girl, and then he goes out, finds the person that transitions you, and lobotomizes them. It's very specific. Addendum 2011 Containment Breach. On March 27th, 2011, 59-year-old Texan woman Charlotte Campbell began a series of social media posts detailing her personal experiences with Chaser, claiming the anomaly had assisted her in preventing her son Frederick from engaging with perceived anti-Christian behaviors. Further investigation conducted by the Department of Continuity revealed that Charlotte had been the leader of a newly found religious cult that regarded Chaser as evidence of the return of Jesus Christ. Shut the fuck up, dude. And intended to attract the entity to interfere once again with the possibility of gender transition within her family. In accordance with standard procedure, the Foundation monitored the case for a potential Chaser manifestation and restricted the reach of her social media activity. 3 months later, on June 30th, Campbell's husband Noah arrived at their residence late at night, accompanied by a disguised Chaser. The entity subsequently transfigured both him and his daughter Olivia before departing. Why him and his daughter? No further Chaser predation related to this event could be traced, and amnestics were subsequently administered to Charlotte and her cult associates following approval of her divorce documentation. All evidence of her marriage was expunged shortly thereafter, and Noah Campbell was relocated to a nursing facility in Clark County, Nevada. Don't you love it?
Well, that just happened.
Don't you love the Chaser SCP?
I mean, never did I think I would read a story about a basically an eldritch horror and it end with, oh yeah, and divorce.
Yeah.
It's literally, yes, this eldritch creature was going around roaming, hurting, chasing people. Divorce.
By the way, I'm sorry, chat. That's probably what I'm going to call it for tonight because it's almost 2 a.m. But I hope you all enjoyed the pain. I hope Kendra enjoyed learning about the pain.
We can do a part 2 eventually. Oh my gosh, this is worse than I imagined.
Yes, I volunteered Kendra for a part 2.
It's worse in the sense it's like, oh, so I guess it's not that terrible. Also, my model broke earlier. I guess it's not that terrible, but oh, that was painful.
It's kind of one of those things you see, and it's like, remember, this was a horror thing.
That was...
Yes, chat, we'll do a part 2.
that was definitely the thing of all time. Oh my gosh.
Maybe we'll do a part 2 next Tuesday. We'll make Kendra come back on Tuesdays from now on to learn about pain.
Gosh, let me see this. You know what? I can.
Oh.
That was painful.
But chat, we're gonna send you away to Kit EXE, who I've raided into a couple of times. Don't forget autism technically later today or tomorrow, depending on where you're at.
In chat, I'll meet you again on Friday with Ryan. We're doing more drawing artism.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
Don't forget to go follow Kendra, chat. Always here on Sundays as well for AnyTuber audits.
Yes. And of course, follow Mizu as well. He gives people headaches and fights with everyone.
Me and Kendra have been trauma bonded over the pain.
No, we've been definitely trauma bonding, all right. Let me see who I can. What is it? Thank you. What is it? Thank you, Sheep Boy, for the follow. Because there were a couple of you that followed. Thank you, Zompie 2.
You'll get
that
there.
one
I
and
believe in you.
Zero Online. Oh man! And was there anyone else? Yeah, that was it. I'm just. Oh, that was painful.
And I know you loved it. If you're over on Twitch, I'm gonna raid you into Leaflet because Leaflet's streaming tonight.
And I'm gonna see who will raid tonight.
Bye, chat. Love you guys.
Bye bye, Mizu-sai.